All right, my friends, here we are. Welcome to the Graduate Show. And, buddy, how can you so low? How low can you go? Um, this is one of my favorite times of the week. And it's a very simple show. We look at who has graduated from one cohort to the next. 100 points band is what a cohort consists of. And we start at the bottom and we work our way up. So here we have 7th Stitch has graduated from the 0 to 300 band to 3 to 400. Let's hear what Steven has to say. 7th, it's not Steven, buddy, it's 7th Stitch. Anyway, because his name's John. I learned how to play chess in August by watching YouTube videos and taking Chessable courses like most beginners. I also listened to podcasts and was lucky enough to stumble upon an episode of The Chess Experience featuring Mr. Pruess. It's always fun to know how people stumble on us. We haven't really done a lot of marketing. We probably should be doing, like loads of marketing. After listening to him speak, I was convinced I thrive off structure and guidance, so this training program is excellent for me. Really enjoy the process of studying, which I mainly do during the work week, and then play as much as I can on the weekend. Love the community feel it has also. I still need to play my first classical game and start putting myself out there and contact a few people in my new cohort to spar with. I am looking forward to progressing by failing more and more. Thanks, Sensei. Beautiful. Nice, dude. So, let's click on 7th Stitch. And they just started on September 5th. So, dude, pretty recent, and that's a beautiful rating graph right there, man. That's ideal. And, when you're starting off and you do some stuff, we'll see what the Irish chess noob here did, then you will make progress, and it'll come generally pretty quickly. So let's take a look. We want to go back one to see how much work it took. 100 points in 17 hours. That's pretty good, man. And since John said that he didn't play a classical game, let's click on what this is. Right, so we got the blunder games. That's the quick games, just trying not to drop stuff. Games played. I'm probably rapid. And then annotated games. So actually, maybe we were going to see an annotated game here, even though we don't have a classical game yet. Some tactics, some Polgar mates, and everyone's first chess workbook. That's great, man. People seem to be loving that thing, which is really good. I'm on a quest to review all of the books in the program, and some books I haven't that aren't in the program but might be that people have asked me to read. And that one, Everyone's First Chess Workbook, I feel like I want to do that one with a kid, with my daughter or somebody, work through it with them just to have the experience through their eyes. Okay, let's see if we can get a game here. Oh, dude, we got loads of games from 7th Stitch. All right, let's look at the most recent one. It's about a week ago, a little bit more than a week ago. 30-minute game. And we are going to see the times. Okay. One thing... I want to make it clear that I'm not ignoring the dojo philosophy and solely focusing on openings at my beginner level. Right. Now, one of the cool things that we'll see here is how John can use principles and then also the time. And what I mean by that is a lot of times you're just beginning, and people, especially playing online games, they're just going to be like blasting out the moves, right? And we want them to slow down at least a little bit. So here we go. Playing at somebody rated 100 plus above. All right, this was a mouse slip. I thought I had a fork and meant to pull back. I didn't notice. Okay. Now, really important to say, and I actually have a Chessable course coming out next Friday, precisely about this training. It's easy. It's an easy thing to train, which is one of the things I made it into a course. I wanted to make a course about it. Is that it would be very difficult for, say, John to stop hanging pieces, but to stop moving developed pieces twice, that's easy. That's easy. You just got to feel my voice in your head. I'm just shaking my head in your head. My voice is in your head. Like, no bows, no bows, no bows. So what were the candidate moves here? D3 or bishop E2. Those are the ones. Okay. Good that you saw it. But notice, you could also develop and defend that bad boy at the same time. All right. Same thing I would tell this person. Bows. You don't need. It's almost like that. He was over there that night, and then he was like, you know what? I'm going to kick it back. Maybe he pre-moved it. Unfortunately, we don't have the times in here. I was hoping we'd see the times. Okay. Now, right, and so what you're noticing is that D4 is just totally impossible for you and for your opponent. No lo puede, right? So B3 is a little weird, but you have to get this guy out. That's true. Again, your opponents at this level are not going to respect time either. What are black's best moves? Here, 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 here. You got to get it moving. Get them out. Little weird. Weird. Now, why is it weird? Because now it's going to be harder for you to get your bishop out. Okay? And you're going to have to commit. You're going to have to either commit to another pawn move or another queen move to get the bishop out. And it's important because we want you to both castle and bring the rook into the game. Vivi Lynch, when you say this is me, do you mean this who we're looking at is you? Okay. Moving pieces twice, right? These pieces all want to get in. So again, it will be hard for people to learn to not give away stuff. That's what the blunder games are for. That takes time. This skill can be learned much quicker. Notice with this move, not a bad move in that black is developing their rook. And here, really important to see that now with that, it seems maybe neutral, like you're just trading, but in fact, you would be developing black's queen, and that's what they should do. But black isn't understanding time here either. Ooh, this is very typical. You're obsessed about attacking something, and these guys want in. They want in, and forget about the pawn moves. A little weird, but okay. Very weird. Pop, pop, and now you're toast. Now, one thing I want you to see here, John, is this. You could tell yourself, oh, I missed that move. Okay, well, it's possible you missed the move. But more importantly, tactics like this are going to happen when you don't develop your stuff. Okay, this is what it looks like. And something important to see is your opponent was a little bit better about developing, but they also made loads of moves that made no sense, right? So what am I saying? You will face yourself mini games, and that will be part of your progress. Your opponents don't develop. You find tactical chances because they haven't developed, and boom, you win the game, just like you've lost this one here. I don't know. Why don't they just take your queen, bows? I don't know. All right. So, and black here can take a full free bishop over there. No one knows what's going on. No one knows that one. That's just weird. There's just a lot of weird things happening now. This one, I'm just going to say I'm confounded. Yeah. Okay. So the biggest lesson I felt that I learned from this analysis is not just to trade or throw away material, right? So 2 basic things that you can really focus on. Not hanging stuff, and that's actually the harder skill to learn, and then developing. That's the easier skill to learn. Harder to learn not to hang stuff because it involves really seeing the whole board. That will take some time, okay? And generally the whole path to 1,000 is going to be learning how not to hang stuff, right? And taking advantage of it when your opponents hang stuff. That's what that journey is. But as I said, also you can learn to develop, not hard. Okay, That was great. John, you're doing there, man. You're going to be up to the next level pretty soon. All right, boom. Oh, cool. And John's in the chat too, so that's cool. Now we're going to jump to Truck Score, who jumped up out of the 1,000 barrier. And as I said, generally to get to 1,000 ChessCom, it's about not hanging stuff. Let's read what Truck Score says. Love the structured approach, the active Discord, and the beautiful UI. That's talking about you, Jack Stenglein, right there, buddy. Especially in checking things off and seeing it in the scoreboard, but also how nice the games look once uploaded. And how easy it is to just browse through them. I've yet to create any calendar entries and have done 0 sparring, but hopefully that will change. I had to shame Pruess and Kostya to try to do some sparring with me, man. They're just like so worthless. And so I imagine you guys out there trying to get sparring partners. If I can't get Kostya and David. Now, David might show up in about 45 minutes. We'll see. And he's supposed to spar with me a little bit. Okay. I hope I'll play slower and really put what I've learned so far into my games. I need to stop playing moves for cheap tricks and not give up when calculations or visualization gets fuzzy. And most of all, just keep trusting the program and doing the work. That's what I want to hear. That's right. Okay. Boom. 25-year-old, played in my early teens, took a long break. Okay. Nice, dude. Addicted to chess podcasts, collecting chess books, and binging Super GM YouTube chess. Note for grad show. Didn't play a game so far this week, but have 6 classical OTB games in the next 4 days. Okay. Nice. The Truck Score knew that I was going to be on him, that I was going to be shaming the Trucks for maybe not being on it. Now, CFC, I think that's the Canadians. I think that's what's going on. And really cool that... Can I click on this? Hold on. Let's see if I can click on this. Wow. Now, sometimes I feel like I'm invading someone's privacy. But there you go, man. By the way, Canada website, I have never been to you before. But this is a pretty good looking website, man. Yeah. Now, I'll tell you, U.S. Chess has got some problems right now, man. They're spinning their wheels big time. Whoo, buddy. This is pretty good, man. This is great. I've never been to Ottawa, but that would be a dream of mine. Once these kids grow up, I'm just going to travel the world playing chess, dude. I'm out of here. I'm done. Okay, this is great. Pop. Get rid of some of your windows here, bows. Oh, leave, yeah, leave. All right, so let's see the activity. And that's a lot of work. Let me see what's going on here. Now, Truck Score is really bringing it. 75 hours, 60 points. Let's look, games and analysis. Beautiful. Now, one of the interesting things is Trucks has graduated out of the blunder games category. That ends at 1,000. Because the general belief is if you got out of 1,000, you probably aren't blundering in the same way. Postmortems, brilliant, dude, brilliant. Okay, let's see what else we got. What are tactics? Nice. I've noticed, the mates, as we get up, the more up we go, the more I see people really doing the mates, which I like a lot. And learn chess the right way. Boom. Great. All right. Maybe let's an algorithm. All right, good. And then actually, if I go here, there's a lot of endgame work being done. Now, this is the current one. And dude is just like plowed into the Silman immediately. All right, great. Let's see if we got a game already. We do. And this is very recent. In fact, he mentioned 6 classical games. Maybe these are already some of them. Let's take a look here. Truck Score's here. Nice. Okay. Let the dojo take over U.S. chess. It's funny, actually, because I feel like the only thing they really have to do is do the ratings. And part of the issue is, they have so much other things going on. They have a magazine. They have all these bureaucrats. No one knows what they do. And then it costs money for people to join the federation. And then when you submit a tournament, you have to pay them money too. Why? No one knows. But if we had our dude, Jack, running US Chess, oh man, we'd have juniors for free and adults maybe like a $5 membership, dog. I mean, we could fix that site. We could fix that thing. Yeah. Okay, third dojo game. I love the dojo games. We'll get to see also Thin Line 69 in action here. All right. I did a video on the exchange years ago, and it's if you want to be annoying, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Let's see how it goes. Just playing principal moves, exactly. And at this point, you just want to see where black goes. Black has a million weird things they can do. And knight f6 is, I'm going to say, that has to be the best move. In terms of annoying black, I think the best thing to do here is to play bishop d3 and castles. Because c4, which I faced many times as black, I'm always happy to see that move. Because it allows me a pattern of play, which makes a lot of sense, which is just to say check to the miserable king and say, I'm out of here, and really, why should I have a problem, All right, but several strong players have played c4, so I can't talk too much smack, though I'm good at talking smack. Okay, so knight c3, bishop b4, and now we are in a, let's call it a touchy situation where I think you're right to play queen a4. Check to the miserable king. That forces this. And now you're starting a real question. Now, let's say the obvious. The reason this is debatable is because your development is terrible. Okay? Now, I'm pretty sure if I was just playing blitz here for black, I just castle, boss. I'm just castle. I can always throw in this check, and you can win a pawn, Have as many pawns as you like, because my big fat rook is about to show up on e8. Okay. So, by the way, let me stress something really basic. Really basic. c4 is not a developing move. Okay? You need at least 2 pawn moves to get your junk out. This is basically the gospel I'm preaching in this new Chessable course that's coming out next Friday. It's very simple done. Once you get it, it's like, go. So a lot of the grief that you're about to see is that once we play c4, maybe it's not that bad of a move, but black is up a tempo after it. Okay? Because black has already done the 2 necessary pawn moves to get the bishop out. Now, this is all hot, and black, I think, should not do this queen e7. Okay? Bishop e... Again, look, imagine this position. Oh, buddy, rook e8's about to land. Is this what you wanted? No, 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 sir. No, sir. Knight takes, check. And honestly, if I wanted to keep the pawn, I could go here, but you can have the pawn. I don't care, dude. I don't care. We're playing rook e8 next with a monster position. Okay, queen e7. Yeah, bishop e3 seems reasonable. Now, bishop takes c3 is unnecessary, and maybe lets me as white breathe a little easier. Now my d4 pawn's protected. What is that? That's somebody who thought pawns were people. Okay? Think about it. Let's say you castle, and you're white. Do you really want to take that thing? I wouldn't want to take that thing. Not a chance. I mean, I'm definitely not going to take it the c6 pawn after that happens, right? I'm just too far undeveloped. No lo puedo. So, and actually, you give this as a variation. It's good. If I were to play out the variation go up a pawn, I'd be too greedy as queen a3 looks too powerful. Right. And what I want to stress is, even if you don't see queen a3 here, you should intuitively feel like you're about to die. Okay? So this scares me. That scares me. That scares me. You know, oh, buddy, how are we ever going to get out of here alive? Okay, so queen e6, pop. This makes me nervous because now you're bringing the knight in. Also makes me nervous because now you just opened up the queen onto your coconut. So maybe bishop b5 here. Okay. I saw the bishop pin and liked that I was developing my last matter piece. Okay. Castles. And now king d2, which we got to talk about that, boss. I considered castling, but even if I could push the bishop back, I didn't like the queen side option. The king side didn't look very safe either, but perhaps it would have been defendable. Oh, you definitely have to castle here, boss. You definitely need to castle short here. Now, truck score. I'm going to tell you the most important point of improvement right here. I'm going to tell you right now, boss. I'm going to totally break it down. Look at your notes. You've spent some good time on those notes. Good notes. Good notes. But now I want to point you to something, boss. Look at this time. You're barely going, boss. You're barely going. Let me just make sure I'm not talking out of you know what. Okay, I'm going to take it back. Now I'm going to take it back. I have a standard thing I was going to yell at you for, but I'm taking it back. I'm taking it back because you have used 15 minutes. I take it back. I take it back. My rant over. Forget that I said it. However, I will rant at you for not castling here. What you doing here, bud? What are you doing? What's going on over there? Oh, God. Don't do it, boss. Yeah. And just think about it for a second. Could your king possibly be more safe here than here? Now, I'm going to guess that you are mostly motivated by the fear that this pawn is loose. But I don't, at least right now, I don't think it is, because we go pop, chop, rock, and cop, and we're doing great. And we would want to see that before we castled, right? That would be what we need to see. Now, though, your king is crispy critters, man. And I want you to see, too, that maybe a lesson from here is just becoming a little bit more sensitive to your king, because also just think about the position you created earlier where you had this bad boy where your opponent is up a lot of time and your king, ooh, he's far away from being safe. Far away. Boris the elevator asked, I wonder why he thought the king side would be unsafe. Well, I'll tell you. You know, chess is always dangerous, but king d2, you're going for a walk on the wild side. Okay. This looks, by the way, I like that both players are using their time. The dojo games, man, pretty strong, dude. Pretty strong games are going on here. So, black should think for a little bit, and let's see how long they spend. They spend a good couple minutes, yeah. And they're just trying to break the pin. I don't think queen d6 is weird. Yeah, there's a lot of different moves that black could do. Now, if I was going to try to understand queen d6, I would say that we're touching this coconut, pinning the rook to this pawn. But we can always throw in that. Maybe we should. Actually, we had an interesting question in Discord, which was, what does it mean to be strategically winning? what does that mean? And, this idea of strategically winning was developed long before the computers. And I would say black is strategically winning here. Now, obviously, black still has to be very creative. Obviously, both sides are still going to make some mistakes. But the fact that that white king is so exposed means you ain't going to make it, son. No, you ain't going to make it. All right, let's see how this goes down. Queen d6. I think it's reasonable. But let's read what we say. I thought stacking the queen and rook was more powerful. Trying to unpin his piece. h3, good move. Bishop d7. Now, I thought maybe the intention would be bishop e6 to kind of look at that bishop on c4, but queen c2. Knight takes e3. This seems a little early to me. Knight takes e3. I'm not sure why we're doing it. If the bishop were on e6, then I think, well, we would just be winning on the spot. Let me just maybe share a little bit. Hopefully it's not too advanced, but the intention with bishop e6 is, it would actually be kind of cool if we got bishops of opposite color. Cool for black, because we could wage war on the light squares and you don't even have anything to offer against it, So I don't even know what white's going to do. But if we get that trade, and by the way, it might seem like you want to keep them, trade everything off, but the heavy endgame where like he's got queens and rooks against you with this chump king over here, it ain't good. It ain't good, my friend. All right, here we go. Bishop, queen c2. That's probably good news for you, but black is still great. And now look, no understanding of time, right? No understanding. Dude must be bringing his pieces against you, and g6 just is not it. Okay, now, the most intuitive move, what would have been? That move, yeah. You could also play here. You could consider here. All these are reasonable moves as well, but you must mobilize. You could consider c5 too. Okay, all of these moves, black retains the winning position. That's just like, giving time. What do we want now? We pronto want to find a way to consolidate our position. And if we can, I'd love to put a rook onto the f file. So rook f1 is what I want to do. For sure, I want to play this move. And then on queen g3, I want to play queen e4, and I want to look at this to scare him to death, and then bring the lady to the problem part of the board, right? Bring the lady to the problem area of the situazione. g4, I'll tell you, nobody. Trucks, your king, your king bows. You got to feel that man's pain. You just open up your kimono here, man. You can't be open up your kimono. All right. This is Abdul's calling this the delayed bong cloud. So maybe fair. All right. Queen comes in. Can't be the wrong decision. Black has other moves too. And now black should definitely be thinking about rook ab8. What happens? Check to the miserable king. I'm not sure. Oh, one of the worst moves in chess history has been committed by the thin line. Oh, God, have mercy. Oh, buddy, what's going down here, my friends? Oh, that was one of the worst. What are you doing, Bows? Bows, don't do it to me, man. What are you doing to me, man? Oh, God. Oh. Now, I'm hoping the thin line, 69, sees this someday. Because that was one of the most saddest things I've ever seen, right? Now, white went from strategically lost to conceivably better. Let's talk. Now, our king is actually much better than the black king. Black has a weakness and some pawns that need attending to. We've got the better Bishovsky. Oh, buddy, now we're talking. King g7, rook f3. I got to approve that message. Bishop e6. He says, great move. Maybe, but it's still crispy critters. Now, you played bishop b3. Let's talk. My sense is this is an important decision for you. Obviously, you only got 6 minutes left. And that you probably missed bishop d5 coming next. So this is what happened. I'm going to guess you missed that. And after that, we still have a nice advantage, but it's not crispy critters official, you know? So. A move that makes a lot of sense to me would be this move. Okay? And so on bishop d5, we have e4. We're still intending this, and if they take, our king is just in a perfect position to start chomping, you know, to start the delicious, tasty treats. All right. So, by the way, one thing that I stress in this course that's coming out next Friday is there's a common mistake that players make where it gets to the end game and then they'll castle. And I call that a negative tempo because the king, you know, needs to come back in. But if your opponent blows it like yours did and trades your queen, now your king is much better. And you see it in a variation like that. Oh, that king's a beast. That thing's working. That thing's working, man. And I think this is, again, we'll use the fancy term, strategically lost for black. Because once that king gets active, that's it. Game over. All right, let's see how this went down. You're still better. Okay. Forced, I guess. Okay. Good, reasonable. Good. Back. Back. Now, let's see what you did. Now you're just messing around. Why are you better in this position? Because your king is stronger. So, try to activate your king, boss. Make him active. That's a hard move to meet, c4. So if we say that your rooks are roughly equal, we got to say that your king is better. And I don't know what the best move is here for black. I don't know. I think it's a hard position. So, now you guys thought it was a draw. Definitely not a draw. Let's read what you write. With under 2 minutes, I evaluated white a very slight advantage, but did not see how to convert or to adequately pose questions while defending against the threats. Okay, good. Now, one thing I want to stress about this endgame thing, let me go on a little round. Time is important also in the endgame. So if you want to think about being up ahead in tempi in the opening, which is very easy to understand, you could say to yourself, oh, let's take like this position with c4. I don't know what black's supposed to do. Let's say these are his main choices, right? White, we can argue, is up, let's say, 2 tempi with the king. Let's say black would want to have comparably those moves in to be as active as the white king. But they're down the time. And so that lack of tempo shows in a position like this. Further, one reason to really be thinking about this kind of thing in the endgame is you'll get a sense for activity. Because in the middle of the game, there's a bunch of pieces. And so if you have one chump piece, you're not going to feel it as much. Here we have really 3 actors. Each side has 3 actors. And if one of them becomes strong, one of them becomes weak, well, you're going to see it play out in the drama really quick. Okay, cool. Let's go back to truck score. Let's go to activity again. And I'm pumped for truck score, man. First of all, made it out of Plato's Cave. That's what I call the under 1,000. Made it out of Plato's Cave and doing well, man. So I'm happy about the games, too. Those are good game analyses. Very good. In fact, let's do this. Let's click back on that one, and let's feature that game. That just means that when I go back to recent, that we see the featured games right there at the top. excuse me, at the bottom, right? These are the games that have been featured in the last month. Okay, so great. Now we have John. Let's see what's going on with John. John also a little bit higher. Okay. Now there's a graph right there. That's a pretty good looking graph, dude. So 14, basically 1400 to 1471, almost 100 points. Nice, dude. Yeah, perfect. So then it'll be a slog to get to the next one. Oh, you're welcome, Truck Score. Nice, dude. Nice. Okay, here we go. We're gonna go back one to see how they got there. That's some good work. That's 92 points. That's a lot of work for John here. And good pie distribution. Love that there's very little opening. Let's click on the tactics. Polgar mates it too. All right, as I said, you get a little stronger, you start seeing people doing the mates. As it should be done. How many? 1,000. And I'm going to guess that was probably the exact number they needed to finish that level. And then when you get to the next one, then more get added, right? More get added. Tactics time. People didn't like tactics time. Or at least that's some people didn't like tactics time. So we might remove that, replace that with something in Dojo 3.0 next time around, which will be May 1st, 2024. Okay, so let's click on the end game. Silman, beautiful. We did Dojo Talks about Silman this last time. You can see that on our YouTube channel. Silman, we discovered on thinking about it, is the most represented author of any of the authors in the program. Cool. Well, let's click on games and analysis here. Beautiful. I like it. All right, let's see if John has a game for us. No, darn it. So they do have, well, bummer. Let's just click on here for a second. So John's been with us since April. And, okay, great progress. I don't know, maybe the games are somewhere else. Hard to say. Quad says, when I get to the next cohort, I'm going to ration my Polgar so they can stretch the whole way. That's right, my friends. That's the way to do it. That's the way. All right. I got my brilliant iced coffee. It was a normal coffee that I just converted into an iced coffee. Okay, let's go back. That was John. And then Afraid of You. I'm waiting for my board to arrive in a few days, and then I promise to start playing classical annotated games instead of current 10-minute rapid. I'm not sure how to play with my cohort, though. Now, one thing that's interesting about that is when he says board, when they say board, are they talking like one of those fancy things where you play with the electronic board, dude? That would be interesting. That would be real interesting. That might be what's going on with Afraid of You. I would be really interested to hear about that. We got contacted by a German company that wanted to try it out, and I don't know where the status of that is. But people are developing these boards that you could probably analyze with too. I'm sure you could, and then you could also connect to the internet. Okay, so please don't hurt me. That's a pretty good rating graph. That dude's just flying up. And looks like very recent that this all kind of what happened here, beginning on August 7th. Okay, so we want to go down one and see how they got here. Looks like tactics, end games. It looks like we're not going to see any games. Let's click on the end game. Okay, good. Let's click on the tactics. Good. Tactics time. Okay. And then if I go to our current cohort, there might be a game. What are they doing? What are they doing non-dojo? What you doing watching random people playing? Yeah, okay. And some rapid. All right. Let's click on games. We got one. So, we're going to get we might get some times going here too. Yes, we are. So this looks like a 30-minute game. Fine. Now, let's just go ahead and say G6 is weird according to principles. What is the right move? Why is it weird? Because this bishop already is out, right? Already out, boss. So D5, bishop C5, those moves would make sense. And now E5 looks, and now you're doing great. This is what happens when they don't develop properly. I think E5 is definitely a pain in the you-know-what right here. Weird. No, that's just weird, boss. That's not an exclam. You could do this and prevent E5. But it's true that black's already in a little bit of pain here. X-raying Her Majesty. The engine wants me to play F4, but I'm not sure what's the idea behind that. Okay. One cool thing about this position to realize is the rook would be developed behind the pawn. You might play E5 someday, but it's also like black's position so bad that we probably want to stop that. It's not the greatest thing for them, but especially after rook E1, where there's now F4 isn't as cool. Now black should maybe start thinking about G5. By the way, why did this all happen to black? Because they forgot to develop properly, right? Look, they forgot this. They put an extra pawn move. This is the grief you'll get into when you do not develop. Okay, right. So now what I want to stress is your key problem, and we'll see if you understood this, is this knight. How bad is it? It needs to get fixed. I think I'm down with your move though, E5. One thing you have going for yourself is you are up in time, and therefore we would want to open the position. I am not a fan of Queen D8 because you could solve your problems by developing. This is not you, actually, this is your opponent, right? But still, you know what I mean. Queen D8 does not develop. Queen F3, good move. Bishop G4, a little frisky. Bam! Oh, baby! Sorry, I can't help myself but give it a brilliant move. Well, it's not wrong. It's not wrong. All right, now we just need to finish this game off. I don't know what Rook D6 is about either, but I don't know, what are we supposed to say? This guy's down a piece. Good move. I don't know what it does. Good move. Good. Well, now, okay, fine. Thank you. Thank you. Now it's just golden, isn't it? Let's push the C pawn, please. Okay. Fine. Let's go. Run. Oh, nice move. Now, here, let's just say rook A7. Ah, baby. That's why we do them, mates. Okay, you're fine to run this thing. You can run it. This person really not giving up. Okay, well done. And let's go back. And I'm bummed for afraid for you. That's great. Afraid of you. People are going to be afraid. I'm afraid of you, buddy. They're going to be afraid of you. Okay. So, that was afraid of you. And now we got the famous Revolver Jack. Revolver Jack's been around for a while. So I'm pumped to see Revolver Jack make it. Let's read what Jack says. I haven't really done much outside of just playing classical games and analyzing them. Good. Polgar mates, however, do seem to be helping in smelling blood. Just by analyzing, though, I do realize there's a lot of different weaknesses I have, which I plan on fixing through sparring, especially my thought process in low time situation. Brain either just kind of freezes up or I make subpar moves. That's just one example where I think endgame sparring will help. I'm probably going to do more middle game sparring since that's my weakest part. Okay, great. Let's click. Boom. That's a pretty... Now you could tell that Jack went through a period of stasis. Maybe they just had to take a break, man. They had that little downfall, and they're like, dude, I'm going to give up chess. And then over here, the bug bit again, and then bam, here I come up. One thing I've noticed, actually, I'll just put this out there that's really interesting, and something we at the dojo need to think about how to help make this happen. Kraai, can you just explain what you're talking about? Listen, so when you go to the scoreboard of any cohort, what you'll find is there will be a bunch of players who have put in work at some point, but that, let's say in the last 7 days, the last 30 days, haven't done anything, right? And I'm sure this happens in the fitness world as well. You know, you have a good couple of days, you're going, blah, 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 making progress, and then you fall off the wagon, right? And then whatever gains you had, they might just go away. And so what am I saying? I'm saying one of the key things about chess improvement is just being at it all the time. And that doesn't mean you got to do a lot, but being at it consistently, right? That's where it's really important. Okay, let's click on Jack here. Boom. And we're going to go back 74 hours. Jack, I'm loving it. One of the things you'll see here too is as we go up the ladder, the more energy it takes, more time it takes to get to the next level, right? We're seeing that here, 74 hours. That's not jump change, you know? Some good sweat work. All right, good distribution here. Let's click on the end game. Silman, fine. Boom. Tactics. A little bit of Polgar Mates, 505. Winning Chess Tactics, also co-written by Silman. Genius. In fact, probably Silman wrote the whole thing, man. Sarwan, that guy, he likes to hang out and drink wine, tell some stories. He's not going to be scribbling away in the dark. Come on, man. So, all right, let's see if Revolver's got a game for us. So, all right, this is fairly recent. This is like a week ago with Dr. von Goosewing. Rated classical, 36, so an hour plus 30. Great. And, okay, let's get into it. Oh, the dojo's recommendation against the Sicilian. Thank you very much. I'm really interested to see how this game goes, to see in particular like how well Jack could understand what's going on. This is part of it's on our site, but it's also the Chessable course I did, which is called the Chess Dojo Aggressive Repertoire for White. And the idea is very simple. The very simple is that we want to construct a pawn chain on the light squares, pointing towards the king's side, maybe f4 someday, depending, and get rid of this bishop, right? And knight d4 is maybe a good move for black, but we now develop faster, right? Pop, pop. Last bit of theory that I can remember, okay? Pop, pop. So at this point, I don't know if you need to know too much, but you should just know that we are now trying to say that we are better developed, right? This feels like a non-starter. White has no problem retreating back to c3. Yeah, very well put. And a6, though, I will say, you look in the database, it's one of the most common moves. Because, why? Psychologically, people are like, oh, that knight on b5, he's messing with me. I've been forked in the past. Let's get rid of that guy. No, I want to go back to c3. And by the way, this is great opening understanding from Jack, okay? What I mean by that is it's really more important than learning the lights to understand, like, oh yeah, my knight actually wants to go back to c3, and black doesn't get it. Pop, pop. Yes. Very good. Well, great notes. Great notes, Jack. Yeah. e5. I'm not sure how necessary this move is, but I don't think it's bad. Okay, let's definitely say it's a little controversial because you're giving the d5 square, right? The main line we should also note is, you have it up here, knight f6, knight c3, pawn takes, queen takes, e5, queen d3. And here we will have a battle for the d5 square, and you can see that maybe a6 isn't necessary. So in that sense, we are up a tempo compared to that variation in Jack's game. So queen d3. Let's read what Jack writes here. I originally developed this here because I thought this would be the best place for the bishop. The dojo rep has other ideas, a key idea being to reroute the knight from f3 to e3 to strike the weak square on d5 and freeing up the f-pawn. Brilliant. Now, let's just show that. It's a little highfalutin, okay? But pop, 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 pop. Beautiful. Let's go. Let's go. Let's take over those light squares. I was definitely overreaching for some shenanigans on b6. Right, so what happens now is black is going to be fine because, for one, when you played knight d5, you lost the tempo. Black has an unopposed bishop, the bishop on c8, and will find a way to play bishop e6, right? And then you are going to be kind of weak on the light squares. So, now all of a sudden, I think we're worse. Rook b8, though, is a chump move because, first of all, you could castle. Second of all, queen c7 is a developing move and does the same thing that rook b8 does, which is control the b7 pawn so that we can whack your queen, right? Okay. All right, b3. I'm just pausing a little bit because you might want to play knight d2 anyway. And if that's the case, then I don't really want to play b3. And then there's a total madman move here. This complete insanity. This is an interesting turning point in the game. I had originally calculated b5 to poke questions regarding the c4 square. Yeah. Okay. The d5 is interesting. Okay. b5, excuse me. I don't understand why I do just one castle, though. It's castle, man. It's castle. It's not that hard. It's not that hard. Now black is really... You gotta just do a little dance of joy, actually, after g5. Even if you don't know exactly what to do next, because, like in this position, it's not clear really what we're doing as white, It really isn't. But when they play g5, I'm like, well, now we're going to think about something. I don't even know what it is yet, but we're going to find something against this chump move, right? We're going to find something. Okay. It's a terrible move, g5. It's absolutely awful because g5 could be motivated by two reasons. One, to start an attack against your king. That's the one thing I don't think black's doing anytime soon. And number two, to dislodge the knight from f3. But our knight's no special person. That knight kind of wants to move. Like I said, maybe knight d2 on the last move, right? So you have several good moves here. The simplest would just be to say, hey, let's play c4. Yeah, and as you say, just stunt the rook on the queen side. Yeah, now I don't have to worry about the c2 pawn either. We'll figure it out. I don't know what they're doing, but we're just going to improve the position. It does feel like a poking move. I don't understand Black's play. Now, why they were afraid of knight g5? I think your knight was going to get trapped out there. That's too fancy what they're doing. Now, can we play c4, please? Okay. I don't understand g3. I don't get it. Why are we playing g3? Again, it's about getting your people involved in the game, right? And c4 kind of blocks this rook, and then we could have a couple ideas. Maybe c5 someday, maybe knight c2, e3 someday. g3, oh, where are we going, Bows? Oh my gosh, you're playing a madman. Okay, let me say a couple things. I think this person's insane. Okay. G3 didn't make any sense. Okay, but still, in this position, you're doing okay. Next move, we will play f3 no matter what. We will break this bad boy open, and I don't know why we're necessarily worse. Don't think so. I'd rather be white. I'd rather be white. F3 is going to come, and all of our people will be involved. Okay. I don't know. No lo entiendo right there. Boom! That's an interesting move. That's definitely an interesting move. If I would just add, I would want to also calculate f3 because I think I want that tension on g4, and I want to open up the position while Chump King over here is sitting. But f4 might be so. f3 gave me more options, and in fact, like here, now I have to worry about bishop f5. And the other one, I didn't have to worry about it. I'm just going to go ahead and say there's things that I don't understand. Boom. Boom. Why perpetual? You're the one in charge here, son. Queen e4. That's definitely a mistake. That's definitely a mistake. That's what we call check. In the dojo, we call that check to the miserable king. We call that give me all your coconuts right there. Oh, this ain't going to work for you, son. No, 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 no. Check to the miserable king. Look at this offside rook getting chumped. Bam. Oh, it's just pure. Oh, gosh. Take it easy. Take it easy, Jack. Black got what he deserved, huh? Black got what he deserved. Okay. So, but tension is scary. Revolver Jack's in the chat. Fantastic. Jack, you're doing great, man. You're doing great. And hopefully this can this little analysis can help. One thing, if you look at the beginning of the stream, we're talking about people who are just blatantly not developing. And here we're getting more subtle non-developings, right? Like A6. And then like Bishop E3, it's a funny business, right? Because that's like kind of some deep understanding, but it involves really like focusing on what the pieces want to do. So it's harder to understand with the time there. But then also this is more deliberate, where you're just giving away the time, right? Here, giving away time, Queen C7 instead, right? Probably B3 is giving away time, and then no one knows. No one knows what this psychopath wants out of life. If they want to play for F5, then please do like that, Come on, boss. Come on. All right, Jack, I'm pumped on your performance here. Oh, you know what I got to do? I gotta ask Mr. Pruess. You here? Question mark. He might join me. We're gonna do some sparring after this, if my life situation and his work out, and he could join me for this show. If he wanted to. Okay, Revolver Jack, you're doing great, bud. That's great. Let's see. Let's click one more time, Revolver Jack. 1825 is the next one. So yeah, it's a little bit of work still, but definitely doable. Okay, pop, and then we go. Now, sometimes these graduations, I don't know what that means. That's not a graduation. I don't know what's going on with Nias, dude. Oh, no, I have no idea. So, I don't know. That's like a fake graduation, if I'm allowed to say that.
Pruess is going to take all your coconuts.
Wait, don't take my coconuts, son. Pruess is here, man. He's coming in. Let's see here. Pop, join. Right. Mr. Pruess, you hear me, bud?
Yeah, I hear you.
Do you want to be part of this beautiful vid feed, or do you want to just leave it as it is?
Either way.
How about this? Why don't we finish the show with just your voice? It's not going to make too much longer, and then we'll do as you do for if we do some sparring.
Okay.
So we're just looking at the scoreboard here, man, and we just did Revolver Jack. Revolver Jack's been with us from Dojo 1.0, I believe, and so he just graduated. That was kind of cool.
Super cool.
And then now we got Mura. Let's see what Mura says. I'm a chessable sinner. And spend more time on openings than I should. At least, recognizing the problem is the first step to recovery. The end game and checkmate exercises, plus analyzing my games in depth, have been the most helpful so far. Let's click on this one. Boom.
Wait, what's been the most helpful so far?
Analyzing games.
Analyzing games, yeah, of course. What cohort?
He just graduated to 15-16. Let's read what German guy says. German guy who wants to play over the board eventually, but there's no rush. I need to log my non-dojo time more often and follow the program more strictly, but I'm still seeing progress and enjoy it. Beautiful. One thing, I've talked about some, Mr. Pruess, is like a lot of players now have kind of come into chess playing just online. And so you have players like Mura here who has played a lot of chess, gotten to a pretty high ranking, but have never actually played over the board, boss. Can you imagine? Never done it.
No rush.
Well, I'm teaching Jamil, and Jamil, dude, has got a real block on the idea of doing over the board. There's the convenience thing, but also like the habituation to a two-dimensional board, and there's a kind of people fear, I think, too, going out and being out in the real world. And I think, the fear of failure, I think, is also really important, right? Where you might have a sense of who you are as a chess player, but you're going to really find out when you play over the board, right? So that's where it's going to get kind of real.
Yeah.
All right, let's click on Mura. See what we got. So we're going to go back one.
Was haben wir hier, Jesse? Was haben wir hier?
I like his breakdown pretty good. He's got good games and analysis and a little bit of everything else. That's pretty good. Let's click on games and analysis.
And
beautiful. Nice, dude. Nice. And just from my intuitive sense, if somebody at this level, right, is only spending 44 hours and made it to the next level, then I'm going to say you're not on your plateau even close, that you are ready to start really flying. Because generally to get from 14 to 15, I would say you're going to need, on the average, 100 plus, dude. 100 plus.
Yeah.
All right, we got a game here. This is ancient Rome or something.
If not more.
If not more, yeah. Okay.
I would guess more like 1,000 hours, honestly.
Maybe, it depends.
Just off the cuff.
Yeah. I mean, definitely. I'm just gonna say 44. You're cruising, boss. You're
Yeah.
cruising. This will be interesting because I think we're gonna have the times here. Okay.
Arrête d'avoir peur de ton lit ou de n'importe quoi. Va dans ton lit et couche-toi et dors maintenant. Kutunar. Ça suffit. Va dans ton lit. Je comprends rien parce que tu parles pas. Va dans ton lit.
This is pretty spicy. Pop, and pop. Good question. So I've had this kind of position many times, and let's maybe see. Okay, I want to create an IQP. Fair enough. And let's read what dude says, and then me and David can chime in. I understand that he doesn't want to play with an IQP, but thought that this move gives me too many tempi and opens up the position too early for white. I decided to go for the ambitious e5 since he's higher rated and will probably outplay me in an equal position. I'm not sure whether just developing my pieces or playing ambitiously was the way to go here. Okay. All right, let me give you my little breakdown of this. We go back a little bit, okay? When white plays queen c2, right? White is doing a very ambitious thing that I'm going to guess Ancient Row doesn't even understand. So I'm going to guess that Ancient Row has seen this in some book or something, knows that it's a move, and then is just playing it. This is a very ambitious plan for white, where white is in general going to be losing a couple tempi to get rid of our bishop. So
How many people in the chat right now could tell us in words the reason for playing queen c2? Like, how many people in chat could explain the idea here? Like, why you should play queen c2 instead of knight f3 or queen d3 or pawn e3 or pawn f3? Like, what's the concept? Why is this a move here?
Yeah. And it's much easier to play as black. I'll tell you that from from good personal experience, because we get loads of tempi, and white is saying, I want to keep my structure whole, known as BC stuff, and I want to have a long-range vision where this bishop is going to hurt you. That will be the unopposed bishop after the trade happens. Highfalutin. Develop your pieces, my friends. Do not play this way. Okay.
I mean, the move basically implies that white's going to play a3. That's one of the important points.
Right.
This game, white doesn't even play a3 on the next move. So your guess that white didn't even know why they were playing queen c2 is a pretty solid guess, right?
Fair. And here, actually, c5 put some interesting pressure on black. And I think the correct move for white now is to play dc. And then only after to play a3. And your cd4, I think, is a very uncomfortable move for white to face. Because if they play ed4, then the entire idea of their opening setup is gone. If they play queen d4, we just play knight c6 and ask the next question later. So in order to keep with the ideas of the position, that this guy is going to dominate us later, they got to do knight d4. And I'm with you, boss. Just play e5 now. Why? Because we're up time, and let's hurt this fool. Let's hurt this fool before they develop their pieces. Bam! Let's go. All right.
I didn't like that reason about how if I don't do this, the other guy's going to outplay me because he's better than me or she's better than me or whatever. I didn't like that reasoning for the move.
Fair.
But from the perspective of just play good moves, that looks like a good move to me.
That's a great move, dude. Great move, yeah. So knight f3. Let's see how they play. d4, going for it. Whack!
Oh, wow.
Now, actually, I think here your critique really applies. He's worried that he's going to get into some drawish or whatever position, and that he's going to be taken to town, right? Now, it's still, by the way, this sack is interesting. I don't know if I approve of the message yet, but it's definitely interesting. I have a feeling me and David's first instinct would definitely be the same, and that would be to play knight c6 right now.
Ding, ding, ding.
Ding, 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 right? And if white wants to take that pawn, be my guest, right? You want to have fun taking that pawn, Bows? Please, please, please do it. Yeah, it's a mess. It's a mess if you take that pawn. Okay, you kind of have similar ideas with rook e8. But the thing maybe about rook e8 is I'm not 100% sure that the rook belongs there. I am 100% sure that the knight goes to c6. So, for example, in this variation, cd5, knight d5, I like black. I think I love your position, but does the rook belong on e8? I don't know. I don't know. But okay, let's look at this business. d4, that's definitely a bold move. Pop, pop.
Well, let's say, Jesse,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
really good that Murat didn't want to play e4, right? Thank goodness that he was looking at exploding things and not looking at a move like e4, you know, winning a tempo or saving the e5 pawn, right? If somebody were super materialistic,
Yeah.
you might see them play e4 because they couldn't figure out how else to defend this pawn.
By the way, e4 is also an advantage to black. It's not the most horrendous move I've ever seen.
Really?
Yeah. No, that's a nice position. Because I don't know, let's say you go here, and then we're going to put your knight on e5, and we're going to develop the attack. You know? Yeah. But but should we want more? yeah, we should want more than this. But if you were to get this, I'd definitely rather be black here. You know. Yeah.
Okay.
With good chances for an attack against the white king. But okay, let's take a look at this bad boy. Definitely queen d4. I'm with you. So that's good analysis there. You definitely, if you're going to be afraid of something, it's got to be queen d4, because then you have a question to answer. Here, we're just going to say check to the miserable king or knight e4 like you do. Boom. That's got to be a good move. That just feels good right there. That just feels good. And that one, I don't know. Oh, no. Now you can see Murad. Look at this note. He's like, oh, I want to trade queens and think I can hold this position. Pruess, yell at him in French, dog. Say some nasty words in French to him. say
Jouer comme ça. Les échecs ne se jouent pas comme ça. Absolument. C'est une horreur. Vous n'avez pas le droit.
Zone it, Mura. Zone it. Okay. All right. So, hold on. Let's go back. Me and Pruess were into your position. Let's pause here. Now, we got a couple good moves here. We got rook e8, check to the miserable king. We got knight e4, your move. And then we got other questions that could be asked. Now, let's just say that you were the one who played d4, boss. So I don't know why you're playing for some trade of the queens. You're the one going for the throat, right? So let's just pause for a momentito and say, let's start with check to the miserable king. We're just going to start with that one. Now, if bishop e3, dude has to contend with knight g4, right? Okay. So let's just put bishop e2 on the board just for a second. Now, we can think again about knight e4. We might have some other things too. Now, it's true that maybe this compensation is not 100%. It's possible. But we want to spend some time, especially in the analysis of the game, thinking of ways to construct grief for white before they castle. Yeah. Now, let's say a problem for us is that it's not 100% clear how this bishop gets into the attack. Right? That's a little problem for us. But if I was just, I might try to find something more compelling. But one way to do it is to say, okay, when you take this bad boy, now you can't castle. And then when you play bishop e3, I'm at least going to think about that move. To try to, I just want to prevent you from castling, boss, you know?
Yeah.
And White at least has some questions to answer here. Because if you ever play f3, then the coconuts aren't real solid over there. Yeah. Mr. Pruess, I got a favor to ask. I got a sick kid at home. He's crying at me. Could you, I'm just going to take you to an interesting position because I know you can't move the pieces yet.
Yeah.
But why don't we talk about this one? All right, I'll be right back.
All right.
Hey, bud, how you doing?
Knight b3 exclam. Interesting. The knight was threatened, so it certainly made some sense to move it. Rook e8, bishop e2 didn't evoke any important new possibilities. Rook e8, bishop e2. Well, maybe rook e2. The queen can't take. King takes. Bishop g4, f3 is okay. So instead of knight b3, there were also the moves rook e8 or bishop g4. No, I think this is the right one. I think this was the right one. Nice move. So with this move, it's basically going to force the response queen b3 because the knight's attacking the rook and the bishop. And after queen b3, queen d4, the black queen's going to be nicely placed on d4. And white's going to struggle to get castled. Definitely struggle.
If you want a blanket, you can grab one from the bedroom too. All right, Baos, I'm back. Thank you for holding the business.
There's a critical question here, Jesse.
Okay.
Critical question, which may be coming up. So queen b3, queen d4, bishop e2 seems pretty logical from here. And then black should play rook e8, I assume, although he's got a move that he played and it says too slow. So rook e8 is going to be played, but my big question is whether white can just castle, allow rook takes e2, and then play rook d1.
But then queen f6.
Queen f6. And then queen f3, rook to e8.
Or bishop somewhere to, oh yeah, rook e8. Yeah, rook e8.
All right, so rook e8's the move. Rook e8's the move, and black should be giving white some scary grief right there.
Let's see what. Okay, so let's walk through that. Amura does give that as in the analysis. So rook e8. Check to the miserable queen. And now we need a good square for this bad boy. I'm going to go ahead and say the first question would be queen g4, right?
Yep.
But the problemito in the casito is then queen e3, using your idea. So we got to rule out queen g4, I think. Or we have to have an answer to queen e3.
Yeah.
And let's just pause for a second here. Because this, by the way, this is one to really spend some good time on.
Oh!
Pruess has got something.
Perhaps a tactico?
You got a tactico, bud?
Ah, it doesn't seem to work. Man, oh man. I was thinking of rook e2, bishop e2, bishop g4, f3, rook e8,
Yeah.
king f1. But the queen on b3 seems to be holding it together. It's unfortunate.
Let's show that variation. That definitely should be looked at.
Yeah.
And so what David is saying is if the queen were not touching the coconut, it would all be over. But unfortunately for us here, I also don't see a way through. Let's go back. By the way, one thing I want to say about this, we got to play rook e8. so in the analysis, great that we're looking at it and as we want to do it as deep as possible, but we're playing rook e8 no matter what. That's just what we're doing. We got to move that coconut out.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, in a game, it's a move you could almost just play without thinking, even though it seems like a critical move. Because
and it's White's the one who now has to do some thinking right here. Because rook d1, it's not the only move for White. And rook d1's pretty, it's a little frisky. So a very basic move, which feels to me as if we're holding at least compensation, is queen f6. That way I hold this square, I touch this coconut. So that I'm going to say is at least compensation.
Against a move like queen f3, you've got many options, but for example, you could take the b2 pawn.
Mm-hmm, exactly.
Just proved your compensation. That was enough.
Mm-hmm. Now, one of the things I like to say on the show is I don't want to go too deep in the variations, but just to point out, like, this is a great opportunity to really go deep in the analysis, to think about, like, oh, what were my options and what's going on, right? Queen h4, it's also not ridiculous. And then we'd have to ask White, well, what is it, Bows? What's the next move, Bows? Not necessarily clear what next move is for the Bows. Notice in all these queen moves, I'm holding the square. Right? Okay. Mr. Pruess, let's continue here. So b6. Yeah. Oh, and then White's just so happy, boss. If I was White here, I'd be like, oh gosh. So happy I got out of that mess, man. The other rook feels more natural to me, but okay. Okay. Good. f5, and you say this is an initiative. I was desperate to create counterplay, and f5 looked like the only move. Well, perhaps so. I'm concerned about that rook landing on the golden d7 square.
Yeah. How desperate should black be, Jesse?
Good question. We definitely need to stop rook d7.
Like if I play rook d8 as black, am I losing 100% of the time or 50% of the time?
I think good point. I think I would classify this as the old school way by saying that White has a clear advantage in the sense that it's just a pawn. I wouldn't say just a pawn, it's a pawn. And the bad news is White has a simple plan of pushing this coconut,
Yeah.
But first things first, you cannot allow the pig onto the 7th. No lo puedo. White doesn't get it though, and now you see a move like g3, you got to do a little dance of celebration after that bad boy.
In the f pawn a hook?
Yeah, now it's like I wasn't sure what f5 was about, but now I know. Now I know why it's there. Let's go. And you write. Let's see what you write. f4 looked really good, but I thought it didn't matter whether I play f4 or rook f6 first. Okay, let me try to explain why I think you should just play f4. Because rook f6 is suggesting that your rook has a purpose on either g6 or h6. And maybe it does, but I'll tell you where for sure it has a purpose is f4. We have no idea what white's going to do next. No idea. But we do know that this coconut, oh, buddy, it's a real thing. There's like, I mean, white has put himself in a situation where this game might end kind of soon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so rook f6. Good annotation. I think that's fair. Not correct. Now, why isn't white playing rook d7? Nobody knows. f4. And also, let's just say prophylactically, our f4 stopped this f4 idea. And while this is definitely loose for white, also now white gets lateral protection this way.
In Go, Jesse, there's a proverb, which your opponent's vital spot is your own. What f4 is in this position, right? It's like the move that black needs to play and the move that white needs to play. It's the same spot. And if you play there, then the other person can't play there. So
now here's a notable mistake with c5. Like, I don't even know if there's a direct loss for white after this, but I just want to point out, like, white isn't respecting the potential for danger. So this is obviously a little scary. Now, maybe black doesn't have anything. We're going to talk about it next. But white needs to play either a move like rook d7, intending to get rid of this bad boy, or the immediate bishop g2. It's not even a question. This thing has to go. This thing over here's got to go, man. Yeah. So, for example, rook d7, and then on queen f3, you got a choice between bishop g2 and the... I don't even know if that works, actually. It might not. Yeah, I think it works. Actually, this one we have to be careful, because we go pop, 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 and he escaped.
right, but not here.
Yeah. So those are the things white needs to be looking at. Does rook d7 work? And if not, bishop g2. Right? You cannot. You can't be doing like that, Bose. Okay. Yeah. Now let's see your variation. Okay.
I think the way that rook d7 works, Jesse, with rook d7, bishop c6, bishop g2. That would be the alternative line for white.
Mm-hmm. I'm just thinking about this a second.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think the easy way to do it, actually, is just do it that way. Because what do I want? I want to just claim that this rook is a beast, which it is.
Yeah.
And you can do whatever you want, boss. But I'm coming in. I'm just, I'm doing the business here.
This is good too. But bishop g2 last move is also good with the rook hanging, because that move even claims that black's queen on g4 is not well placed, right?
Fair enough. Let's just say the obvious. White is being imprudent with c5. Now, let's look at your variation. Queen f3. Mm-hmm. If the queen side pawns come off, then it should be a draw. Not fair. Okay. I don't have any problem with that assessment. Yeah. Now, maybe we have more. I just feel like c5 is such a crime. I feel like that bad boy is such a crime. He deserves worse. Fool deserves worse than all of what's going down here. Maybe there's not worse, though, huh?
Yeah. The queen on g4 is a little bit one-dimensional here.
I like that fancy word, one-dimensional. Notice, too, that your rook, I call it, is a little bit, I was never a good tennis player, but this is like when you rush the net, you're a little exposed on your back rank. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's another drawback of rook f6. All right, let's see the way this went down. That probably wasn't it. They finally figure it out. Then we blunder. Check to the miserable king. Okay.
Oh!
Yeah. Such is the way. Such is the way. Okay. Let's go back.
So f6, missed the moment for f4, but it turned out that it was unclear if the rook was any better on f6 than it would have been on f8, right? That's very...
Exactly, Mundo. Oh, Mura's in the chat. Mura. It must be, well, I guess it's not too late because Pruess is up. He's in France in the bitter Normandy, probably raining outside. You know, God.
Not...
Okay. So let's click back on Mura just for a second. And Mura, where are you from, dog? Where are you from? Tell us. And maybe I won't be able to go back to Germany for a while, but Pruess, man, maybe he'll take a little spin over there in Germany and visit you. Good games though, man. I like that. 1 of 21, and those were good annotations. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna show Pruess something that I know he doesn't do much here, but I want him to start doing it. We're gonna feature this game. Got a good annotation? Boom, we'll feature it so people can check it out.
Nice.
Okay. From Saxony. All right.
I'm going to Bayern, Jesse.
Oh, what are you gonna do over there, man?
Yeah, visit my aunt.
Okay. Nice, dude. A little recent. Where in Bavaria is she?
Munich.
Oh, there you go. Are you going by yourself?
No, I'm going to bring the whole crew.
Oh, man, like a train journey.
Yep.
Oh, dang. How many hours does that take?
It's 3 hours to Paris and then 6 hours to Munich. So 9 total.
Dude, I just want to say, with some kids in tow, that's a brave father right there. That's a brave father right there.
Already made it to France, right? I'm being brave.
Didn't learn your lesson is what it sounds like. All right, Mr. Pruess, this dude Octopus, you can see, dude has graduated a bazillion times.
4 times. Wow.
Dude, he's flying up there, man. And let's think about that. And he's just made it. And that rating graph looks pretty good, dude. Pretty good.
Yeah.
Join the dojo shortly after we launched Dojo 2.0. So that's cool.
Jeez, that
yeah.
is really
Flying, dude, flying. And I've covered Octopus already a bunch of times because dude is flying up. So he's graduating all the time, dude. He's graduating all the time. Now we want to go back one. And Octopus, I remember this, that they're not putting in a lot of their work. So I don't really know what's going on. I have no insight into what's going on with Octopus. I have a feeling we're not going to see any games here either. Bam. Oh, we got one. Okay, let's take a look at old Octopus. This was fairly recent. And the ChessCom game. All right, let's see what we got. It looks like a 15-minute game. Now let me just yell at you, Octopus. I have a feeling I know what's going on. You're playing that 2D chess. You're playing that 2D chess on the ChessCom. You're not ready to play longer games. That's why there's a lot of annotations. And in fact, there are no annotations here, Octopus. And in fact, these little color things are where the computer said, oh, no bueno.
We're lucky to even have a game score, Jesse.
Well, let me just say, Octopus, let's say something obvious. You're clearly making great progress, such that to a certain extent, you haven't even felt the need to do deep training. So that's the first good news. It means you have some natural talent. You're doing great, right? And at some point soon, though, you were going to run into a wall, and that's where the ChessDojo Training Program will greet you with open arms, my friend. Say it's about to get tough. You're getting into a cohort, by the way. You're not dealing with a lot of chumps in the cohort you're in, my friend. 17, 18. In fact, let's go look, Mr. Pruess. Let's go look at that cohort real quick. We'll go scoreboard. We'll go 17, 18. Bam. And I can tell you, you're dealing with some people now. These aren't chumps. Glios, dude? Oh, that's the Hubskirt? Those people are workers, dude. Those people are workers. Eric the Nerd, I have a feeling I know who that guy is. Chris C, working hard. Hector Gray, welcome to the big leagues, Octopus. It ain't going to be like it was before. Let me promise you that. It's going to be a little tougher, my friend. It's going to be a little tougher. Anyways, I'm just saying, you're doing great, boss. it's time to embrace the program if you want to compete with these people. That's my guess. Now, maybe you're just going to continue flying up. If so, then that's great. At some point, though, I promise, these people are going to start. They're going to start coming for you. Yep. All right, Mr. Pruess, are we going to do this little bit of sparring?
Yeah.
Nice. I had to beg Pruess to come on. I'm like, spar with me, boss. I got to get her done. Got to get her done. Let me tell you my grand plan, dude. I'm really working on this. So we're going to do the second position, me and you. And then if I can complete that, I'm going to go up against Friedel in the final harder position. Friedel is a known, GM Josh Friedel, our friend, known master of the rook and bishop versus rook. If I can hold it against that dude, boom, I can hold it against anyone, man. Anyone. Yeah. All right, Mr. Pruess, I have a favor to ask. Can you send me the, like a link thingamabobbers?
Sure.
Let me just, and I'll get out my chess.com here. We got to do this on Chess.com because they won't let us do it in other places.
Endgame algorithm.
Maybe I'll change. What's up, buddy?
Do you know that I like sausages?
You like sausages, bud? Maybe I'll get you a sausage if you like sausages.
I really like sausages.
You want to say hi to Mr. Pruess, man? Oh, and maybe we'll bring in Mr. Pruess on this call here. You can. Can I do one thing first, though?
Yeah.
Here, we'll do this. And then let me do a screen grabber. There you are, buddies. You see there? Everybody's checking you out. Bobby, why are you home from school today, bud?
Because I threw up at school.
Because you threw up at school. You feeling better now, though?
Yeah.
Nice, boss.
And we know my school had a trash can.
Yeah, they have a trash can at your school. And did you hurl in that trash can?
And actually there's 3 trash cans.
3 trash cans. Mm-hmm. How many did you throw up in all 3 trash cans, boss?
No, only one.
Only one, okay.
One is black and another one's black and one's blue.
Nice, bud. Okay.
Now they're all green.
Now they're all green, man, yeah. Okay. All right, boss, send me that link. Oh, did you already do it? No, not yet.
No, I'm still working on it.
All right, you want to sit on my lap, bud? All right, come
Do you
on.
want
You know that
position?
these could
right?
just follow.
What's that?
Did you want position 2?
Position 2, that's right. He's going to try to beat me down, bud, and you tell him to be nice to me, okay? You tell him. Mr.
Be
Pruess?
nice to me, Mr. Pruess.
There we go. That's right, buddy.
Just not to that stinky old guy.
Yo, will we throw up on him if he's mean to us? Yeah.
You can try. Others have done it before.
He's
Others
in
have
France, dude. That's on the almost the other side of the world, man.
France?
Yeah, he's in France.
Are you in France?
What do you want to say it to us in French? What should he say?
Wait.
Well, yeah. You tell him something. What's that, boy? You tell him to say something in French, and he'll say it for you, bud.
I got one.
Yeah.
I got one.
Tell him, give me all your French fries.
How about
We
this?
are your french fries.
Oh, yeah? Okay. Top tes frites.
That was pretty good, bud. That was pretty good.
I was going to suggest j'ai vomi dans la poubelle.
Okay, then give me sausages.
Oh, give him sausages, Mr. Pruess.
Ouais, les saucissons.
All right, everybody. Pruess, we're just getting. Sometimes it's hard. So on our site, on our challenges, on our sparring, we have it set up for Lee Chess because it's easier. But because Chess.com is a jealous lover, and when we stream, we have a little Chess.com thing at the bottom. We're gonna do this on Chess.com, and it takes a little bit for Mr. Pruess to be doing some things.
Donne-moi tes noix de coco.
Moment.
Let's see if we can. Bob, so you tell me what this means, but maybe give me the coconut. Give me the coconut. I think that's what it means, dude. Give me the coconut. That's what Pooh Bear just told you, boss.
Give me the coconut.
That's right, buddy. You say it loud. Say it like this. Give me the coconut. You say it, buddy.
Give me the coconut.
That's right, buddy. Give me the coconut. That's right, man. Okay. Man, it's hard to get this challenge set up, man. Bruce is working hard at it. Now, is it really, Bruce? Noix de coco? Noix de coco? How do you pronounce that thing, man?
Yeah, noix. The X is silent, so it's noix for nuts.
Okay. But don't you feel offended by that, dude?
Aw, nuts.
How come it can't be one word? All right, I'm going to go here, Bobs. All right, this is the one where you can't knock me out, Bobs.
Okay, you have one queen and one castle.
I have one queen and one castle. That's right, buddy. Now, he's already messing with me, Bobs. He's already messing with me. He did a good move, too. He's messing with me. Would you tell him to be a little nicer?
Can you be a little nicer?
There you go, bud. That's right. Be a little nicer.
That's a kid.
This, buddy, if you just watch us, you can see how we play the game. See, you can see how the rooks move, how the bishops move, bud. Yeah.
And how the coconut.
And how the coconut moves. That's right. He's pushing me back, though, Bobs. It's not very nice.
And how the sausages move.
And the sausages, yeah.
Let's try this one.
Do you know I actually like sausages?
I was thinking you did. Yeah.
Buddy, he hasn't been eating. He's been eating just a couple things, and so he's not eating that much, man. We'll see if he'll eat some sausages. We'll see. I just thought maybe that would be annoying, Mr. Pruess. And you're saying, nah, that ain't annoying. Okay, I'm sorry, okay? I just thought maybe it'd be annoying, okay? Sorry, jeez, please, Mr. Bambini.
I understand. Everything you do is from the point of view.
It's sausages.
Yeah, a thing about sausages.
It's
He's saying
sausages.
I gotta go UI dark mode or something, man. How do I do it, bud?
Don't listen to it, man. Let it be.
UI dark mode. Wait. No, that's a smart board. That's no good. Oh, dude. Well, if you want me to do it, boss, you have to tell me how.
Jesse, make the UI dark treatment. The chess.com man is begging you.
Well, how do I do it, bud?
I don't know
You don't know, man? Focus mode? I don't know what it is, dude.
Yeah, I don't know what it's focus
Jesse,
mode.
you're gonna lose on time, and he's gonna make weird colored exclams and question marks appear on your board for you. Don't listen to him.
He's a tricker. All right, we're gonna go this way.
Nice move, Jesse. That was good.
Was it really that amazing?
I don't know if it was amazing, but it was a good move.
Okay.
And guess what?
What's that?
If I said amazing, like an insult.
Dad is very good at chess because he won the Maryland State Championship.
That's right, buddy. I won the Maryland State Championship.
Gotta respect that championship.
Go away, you pesky rook.
Oh, wait.
Oh man,
Take that.
tell your dad to be nice. What was that all about?
But I won the Maryland State Championship.
Big BG Thierry is telling me. Oh, wait. Dark UI. Let's click that, Bobs.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, did I fix it, Bobs?
Yeah, you fix it.
Did I fix it,
Yeah,
Bobs?
you fix it.
I don't know.
You chicken.
All right, let's say check to the miserable rook.
Okay, Daddy, if you move it, like,
Yes. Oh, Jeez, you're killing me, Jesse.
See, I'm getting him. You see the torture I'm putting on him, Bob?
Yeah.
You see that torture, bud?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, don't move the scrolling around. He's messing with me. Let's just... this is not the most... They're going to yell at me for the layout not being millennial
I
enough.
see you, Pruess.
I see you, Pruess. Yeah. We see you, buddy.
You're on the white team, right? You're on the white team.
Am I on the white team? I guess so, yeah.
You're on
All right, let's go here. Molestation of Bishovsky.
Yeah, I saw your hand on the white, so you're on the white team, yeah.
God, he just won't stop.
I just will not stop.
Oh, no, mouse slip!
No, he's trying to trick me, Bobs. He's trying to trick me.
Don't do the mouse slip.
Don't do the mouse slip. That's right. All right. That's just...
Jeez. I couldn't find anywhere for my bishop, and then it just fell out of my hand.
He's trying to trick me, bud. Don't let him. Don't listen, because when he's one of the dirtiest trickers around. Definitely a dirty, dirty tricker.
I'm flattered.
Don't do that.
All right, buddy. Which direczione do I want to go?
Daddy, I'm very smart, so you should go that way.
You're very smart, so I should go that way, bud.
Yeah.
Okay, then let's go this way. That's where Bob's wants me to go, so that's where I'm going.
You know, it would be amazing if he were better at drawing this endgame than you are. That'd be a real
Very
surprise.
smart, eh?
All right, bud. We're on move 14.
Wait
so
a minute.
No,
Kid,
both teams are.
you think that if you played the Maryland State Championship, you could have won it?
Would you win the Maryland State Championship, bud?
I already got some chess because my mom teaches me a little bit of chess.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You'd win the championship.
Basically, your dad is Maryland State Champion because you didn't show up.
Bud. Oh, that's right, bud.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you why I showed up. Because we're about to go. That's a.
Well, boss. Let's go. Check to the miserable king.
Oh, stop, my poor king.
And then let's cruise it before we lose it.
Nice idea.
We don't want to lose it. We just want to cruise it, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, if you know it.
Check to the miserable king. Right, I'm pretty sure we now want to.
This is harassment.
Oh, we just wait for it, bud.
It's not for us, man. I know it. You're a chicken.
We got 21 or 31 more moves to go.
Did he just say what I think he said, Jesse?
Yeah, you're
he's talking
tricking
about-
me. You're tricking me.
I go other direction. Welcome to Dojo. Welcome to Dojo. He's still messing with me pretty good though, Bobs. We gotta say it. He's a messer and a tricker. Yeah, that was clever. We're gonna say that was at least kind of clever. What do you do? Don't mess around, bud. Are you messing? Don't do that, bud.
Fine.
Don't do that, bud.
I can't score it back.
Check to the miserable king.
Scored in, Daddy.
What are you doing? Wait, what are
I
you doing?
scored in.
Okay, wait, Bobs. You're messing with me a little bit. Because he's a tricker, and now he's coming to trick me, and we got to be real careful, man. Okay.
So I'm very smart. So if
You are very smart. That's true.
So if you don't remember that he's tricking, I'll just remember you.
You'll remember me if he's tricking me?
Yeah. Good job. You're doing it.
Check to the miserable.
Yeah, then you.
We got 25 moves left, bows. 25 moves.
Never ends.
That's a lot of moves.
Harassamiento.
For what someone to do.
Harassamiento, bud.
I don't let you in the friends now.
Why aren't you gonna let him in, bud?
Because I'm not at your picking friends.
I'm just gonna mess with Jesse a little bit here. Just a little.
Sausages.
Check to the miserable king.
Just a touch.
Sausages.
He's trying to mess with me, bud. Okay, now we have to think just for a second, bud, because he is trying to definitely be a tricker to us, okay? And do we want to get tricked? No.
No.
We do not.
And I'm very smart, so I know he's tricking every single time.
I think you're right, bud.
I am very smart, so yes, I know that.
Now, am I tricking myself is another good question.
Ooh.
Now, he's pushing me back.
To the miserable king.
Ooh.
Jesse's a tricker too.
I have pattern I just follow in the head.
It's getting hot, Jesse.
Wait.
You might not like it, but it's true.
He's starting to talk some smack to me, bud. You know what that means?
No.
It's not good, I'll tell you that.
Okay, then talk some.
Can I have my hat back, bud? Thank you very much. Okay, hold on, bud. Hold on now. Hold on.
Okay.
Let me just think for a momentito before I get into the sufferito, if you know what I'm saying. Let's go. Bic.
Some sopapillas.
Oh, sopapillas are delicious. Bobby likes sopapillas.
What do you say?
He's talking about sopapillas. Maybe the most delicious
I
thing
don't
ever.
like sopapillas.
Yes, you do, but you don't even know what they are.
I never tried them.
I have a picture of you trying them and finding them most delicious.
Okay, this is only a picture.
That was the last time we went to Santa Fe, but we're gonna get some nice sopapillas too when we go to Santa Fe next time.
Get your sopapilla picture out.
Okay, we
I'll
will,
see.
bud.
That one, boss? Are you sure about that one?
I feel pretty good.
It's hectic.
Oh, is it really? Let's see.
It's not that big. I know it's tricking you. It's not that big.
All right, buddy, we got just 20 more moves to make, man.
That's an eternity.
That's
Okay, I believe in this. No problem.
He says, no problemito in my casito.
no.
How do the rooks move, bud? Tell me how the rooks move. How do the rooks go? They go up and down and side to side, bud.
Up and down inside.
And just watch the way he moves the rooks, and I move the rooks. And then, how about the king? How does king move, bud?
He moves one square.
Exactamundo. And how do you win a game of chess?
Get the king.
Yeah, give me 5 bows. That's right. How about the Bishovsky?
Try to get his king, his black king.
I'm trying to survive because, see, this is a special training that we're doing where I have to defend with being down a Bishovsky.
It's prime.
How does a bishop move, bud? How does a bishop move? Diagonal, man, diagonal. Like this. See this little arrow I'm making?
Oh no, I don't. That's what I tell ya.
He's thinking hard. He wants to hurt me. See that face over there? That's the face of a man who wants to hurt your dad, bud. Oh, man.
You know you would have did. I see what I know.
Tell me he's got no chance.
You got no chance.
That's right, bud. That's right. No chance. All right, but I got to use the potty pots, man. Hold on. Let me go. Let me move the potty pots.
Okay, I need to pee that.
You need to go pee too? Let's go. We'll pee together, man. Come on.
Your friend, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, this had to fix the toilet too. It's all messed up. Yeah, because then it could come out. We don't want that. I gotta fix that after I do the chest.
You got it. You got it to turn more tiny and it worked. Right.
Hey, bud, you know, I see how my piece light and yours is dark? That means you need to drink more water. That's what that means. So I want you to either drink the rest of that Gatorade, okay? Can you do that for me?
I do know the Gatorade.
It's all gone?
Yeah.
Good, buddy. Can you drink the rest of that orange juice for me? Well, can you drink that orange juice?
I don't like the orange.
All right, let's get you some water then, okay?
I like the water.
Here. First of all, it's my move, bud. Where is he going? Rook H3. He's messing with me, Bows.
And I do Dojo a lot for you.
Mm-hmm. Let's go. He's definitely trying to hurt my coconut. You want some water, bud? You want some milk
A
instead?
little bit.
What about milk? You want some milk? Milk or water, bud?
Water, but just a little bit.
Just a little bit? All right, let's go. Let's go use that glass you had before.
I know you're in that French. I know you're trying to hold my dad's king. I see that face. I see that face.
Here, bud, let me see. You can sit on my lap and then you can drink this water, okay?
Go for it. Okay.
It's my move, bud.
Na, 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 na.
What are you doing, bud? Oh, that ain't it. That ain't it, bud. Whatever it is you're doing there, that ain't it. Don't spill that water, please.
Okay.
See, Mr. Pruess thought he was close, but now he's starting to understand. There's a long way before he gets to touch this coconut.
Yeah, it's just coconut. Try to get my dad's king, then you'll win.
That's true. If you got my dad's king, you'd win.
Yeah. That's what I'm planning.
All right. How do we want to do this?
That king's looking delicious on the side of the board.
I know you're tricking me.
Yeah, he's a tricker, bud. Don't let him trick you.
Did you know when the king's on the side of the board, it's like the best time to get him? Get him!
We got 16 moves to make, bud. 16 moves.
Okay, can I change? Can I change?
Can you change? What does that mean, bud?
Mm-mm.
Oh, yeah. Go get another pair of pants, bud. I'll help you. Go change it out.
Myself.
Yeah, you can change it out. You go do it, bud.
You're going on.
No, I'm doing my chest right here.
Okay, can you come with me?
Check to the miserable king.
He wanted to go to d4 anyway.
Okay, boss. Okay.
I know I'm signing my good item. Again, I'm gonna sign the...
Okay, but wait. You're messing with me right now. Go get your pants. Okay?
Okay, now
Let go of that right now, buddy. It's a real problem right now. Hey, buddy. Hey! Stop and go do what you need to do.
Okay, I'm trying to slide you then. I'm trying to slide your face. Stand up. Stand up. Stand up. Me. Stand up in this box. Stand up in this box. Phony sauce.
Whichever one is vegetarian, B8.
That's not real. It's
Oh, no. The touring of bratwurst is definitely the best, Bobs. It's not even close.
yeah, it's not even.
Bob says, too, it's not even close.
Is there no way to mess with this situation?
So there's two things to master when I make this video. Is that I think even when you're okay, the question will be too. With the two things, will I be able to stare down Friedel, who's like, dude, he can create problems. Buddy, hey, don't write on that, man. You want to come sit on my lap? Come here, man. Hey, buddy, come sit on my lap, dude. And one of them is the second rank defense, and the other one is that conquering position. Hey, bud, come on, let's go get your. Come on. I'll help you out. Come on. Here's one. Let's get a lost shirt too. Here, buddy. Hey, buddy, come here. Follow me. You can change right here, okay? Come here. Here, look. There's your clothes. You can change out. Can't do it, but I'm doing this right now. Just take your pants off right there and change it out, dude.
Okay, but I'm going to sit behind that.
You can do it behind that if you want, yeah.
I'm going to do it behind this so you don't see me.
Alright, that's cool with me, bud.
Okay, don't freeze it.
I'm down to 12 moves. Will I make it?
Daddy.
That vegetarian sausage stuff, it's never tasted right to me, boss. I'm just gonna go ahead and tell you that. I know a lot of people don't want to hear it, but I gotta tell you. I gotta tell it like it is.
There's shorts now that are sweat shorts, actually.
Sweat shorts, yeah.
Okay, you can't see me, right? You can't see me, right?
Can't see you, bud.
Okay, see me, I can't see me. Okay, I'm bringing this pump behind. I'm gonna pull my clothes up. Because I'm gonna put my clothes up. Guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna put my clothes
More cereal.
I'm gonna put my clothes up, Daddy. The cereal. I'm gonna put my clothes up. I'm gonna put my clothes up. Wait, you're not pumping.
I'm gonna win on time, Bobs, and then it'll really be sad.
You can't win.
Of course I can win. You could lose your rook, and then I punish you all the way, Bobs.
You mean you could lose your king? You mean you could lose your king, Daddy?
That's right, bud.
Buddha.
Dude, Pruess has gone deep, man. It's there. It's evening time in France. Dude, let me just tell you how horrible it is to be Pruess right now. That guy's in France. He's not eating meat, and I can guarantee you he ain't drinking the wine either. So why are you there, buddy? Why are you there, boss?
Also, not smoking the cigarettes.
What about Grey Poupon? Do you eat any of that French Grey Poupon, bud?
Nope.
No. Man. What about the nasty cheese? Are you into the nasty cheese?
Nope.
Man.
I eat baguette and I drink water. I eat for fuel.
Pooh Bear likes the nasty cheese.
Jesus, no way. Aspic, Jesus.
Aspic?
Yeah. Let me tell you, it's worse than what you're thinking that Jeremy Weiner might have sent somebody. Heck.
I'm going to just Google aspic for a second. Oh, yeah. That's like from the stuff from the 50s, Bows. Yeah. Is a savory gelatin made with a meat stock or broth, set in a mold to encase other ingredients. Like meat, seafood, vegetable, eggs. Oh,
Don't
man.
know.
That is, I think that's got to be a French invention, dude. That's next. How about snails, Bows? You like
No.
the snails, bud?
No.
No?
I gotta tell you that.
I don't see any way to mess with you.
I know how I would try. It doesn't win or anything, but I know how I try to mess with you. Bobs, are you losing your mind over there, bud? Huh?
Oh, I'm pumping my clothes up.
You're pumping your clothes up, dude.
Yeah. I'm pumping my clothes up. I gotta tell you that.
I'm going to win on time, Krabby Crab.
Yeah. I'm done pumping my clothes.
Good. I think that's the move I would have tried. You know, that's the move I would have tried. Now, this forces me to break the regular pattern. Now, I can go king d2 or like king
Okay,
b2.
I'm just gonna blow at you then.
It's gonna blow at me, bud.
Yeah, I have it. It's gonna be the fast move.
All right, that seems just sensible to me. We got 10 moves left. All right. Now, it is true that I need to think for a second about how to reorganize my stuff, which is why the king e4 move definitely. Oh, buddy, hey! It's not a toy. I need you. Hey, buddy.
Okay, buddy.
Buddy, fix your pants like you said you were going to fix, dude.
Okay.
Vas-y, Papa. Go
I'm
down.
snorkeling.
You're snorkeling, dude?
Who's snorkeling?
Well, Bobby says he's snorkeling. I don't know what that means. I'm kind of afraid of it, I'll tell you the truth. All right. I'm pretty sure we want this bad boy.
Pretty sure about it. Oh, God.
You feel my hair?
Mm-hmm. I do feel your air, bud.
Okay, I'm gonna put my gloves. Okay,
8 moves left.
No! Bishop C4 check, Jesse!
Ah! I just wanted to troll you that one time, boss. I just wanted to troll you that one time.
You could get his king, Daddy.
Oh, man.
You could get sleepy, bitty,
All right, let's say
Daddy.
check and see what he
Your
wants there.
Willy Daddy. Your Billy Willy Daddy. Your Willy Daddy.
Why are you calling me a Willy Daddy? I don't feel like I deserve that, bud.
No, Willy Billy Silly Daddy.
I don't want to be a Willy Billy Silly Really Mini Woody blah 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 Daddy.
A fun daddy.
I'm a fun daddy. That's right.
All right. Hey. Why did that all? Okay.
I'm close, Bobs. I'm close, man. Friedel would have wasted me with that one.
It's stuck in the heels,
Tell you that.
Daddy.
Let's go back. I think
Daddy, my foot is stuck in the heel.
Your foot is stuck in the heels, bud. What does that mean that your foot is stuck in the heels?
Like, get my feet, I'm stuck in the heels.
Stuck in the heels. What do you mean, buddy? All right, King A2 would be the dogmatic approach, and King A4 would be just like the sensible person's approach.
Oh God, it's like, oh my God, now I need my belt. Now I need my belt. Oh my God, now I need to bring my feet. I need my belt. Now I need my belt. Now I have to get my socks. What the? Oh well. I'm a piece of wood.
Oh, we're close, my friends. Oh, how about that, dude? How about berets, bud? How do you feel about berets?
That's good. Maybe you should do a blade.
Because we could get a Chess Dojo beret for you, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the Chess Dojo France contingent team, you know?
Yeah.
I've seen we've had a number of people from Germany in the dojo, but so far I can't recall a French.
Daddy.
You want me to speak some German?
Yeah.
Watch this one.
Muscle.
Willkommen zum Dojo. Rook B4. Yes! Take that! Yes!
Muscle.
All right, boss, you got time to run it back? I'm just gonna admit this kid. I don't know how long it's gonna last, but Hey, Bobs, you want to watch a little bit more TV, bud?
Yeah, but
No, Dad, I hate TV.
So if I hit rematch, are we gonna hit? Is that gonna be me playing black, or is that what's that gonna be, bud?
Color if you hit match, I think.
It'll what?
I think it'll give you the same color you had.
All right,
with
let's go
rematch.
for it. Bang!
do you know I like red back?
There we go. Now you had a nice move there last time, man. That was real tricky. In fact, I'm gonna go ahead and say it was cruel what you did to me. Let's go this way. Oh, it says I'm reconnecting. I'm back. All right.
I need Lebensraum, Jesse.
Lebensraum. John F. Gibson's in the chat. How am I doing? I'm doing all right, man. Let's just try to mess with him a little bit, Mouse. Bobs, what are you doing, my evil child?
I don't want these ones. I want short pants, Daddy.
Eating the TV.
Daddy, I want short pants.
You want short pants. Okay.
No, these
But it's kind of cold right now, bud. That's why we're wearing longer pants, bud. You know what I'm saying?
I want short pants.
Oh, I almost played King E4. That wouldn't have been good. that time, Pruess would have found that stuff, dude.
Big
He's
moves.
traumatized from last time.
It pinned. Be a good way of reminding me.
Let's go this way. Oh, he pre-moved that. Look at that. That was a pre-move. You can tell. I heard you bows. I heard you bows. You want the short pants. We understand. Let's go here.
Oh, he's running to that second rank. No. No.
Oh no, we're not there yet, bud. We're not there yet.
Don't go to the second rank.
We're not there, Bruce.
Yeah, you hear that, Pruess? We're not there, buddy.
Okay.
Let's
Sure.
go
Whatever makes you happy.
here. Now, one thing that can beset a person here is a sense of invincibility, and that's when I try to face down the evil Fidel, man. I know that guy will try every single attempt. I ran across you in the final pages of Counterplay and Anthropologist at the Chessboard. Interesting.
And Daddy, do you know this ball got burned?
I remember. I can't. That's funny.
Daddy,
Hold on.
do you know this ball got burned? Daddy, do you know this ball got
Desjardins, that guy interviewed me ages
Daddy,
ago.
Do you know that this ball got burned?
Yeah. Thank you for reminding me. I haven't read the book, and he interviewed me ages ago. What's going on over there? Oh,
The wall got burned.
the wall got burnt. Yep. Just blew my whole system.
Now can you give me short pants?
Can you go get your short pants, bud?
Give me short pants.
Oh, that's cool. It's a good book. All right, bud. Let's go get you your short pants. Come here. Hey, bud. Give me those pants, and we'll go get you short pants. You're insane.
Two of them.
And bud, can I show you a TV show?
Yeah.
All right, let's go get you a TV show, man.
Okay. Daddy?
Your short pants here too, bud. Look at that.
Remember when they were flying?
Here, let's go over here. Oh, look, that's my spot.
You mean when they
Oh, I might have survived, bud. Check! That's not very nice. Oh, just take it easy with the checks, boss.
Nope. I need more.
All right, well, here. I get it. You don't like me. He needs más and más checos. Oh, that looks like a blunder. Let's see. Looks like blunder. Looks like a blunder. Double check, Kraai. Don't get too excited. Take it easy. He might be tricking you. He is a tricker, as my son says. No, I'm going to call this one. I'm going to call this one. Pruess blew it. Wah, wah, wah. Yeah! I've worn him down, my friends. I'm worn him down, and he don't got much juice left. Let's try that again. Now that's the fighting spirit's out of the animal now. You know what I'm saying? Fighting spirit has been lost. Mm-hmm. Ah! Oh! 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 Did you not see that it was stalemate, Bows?
Yeah, I saw.
Oh, you made it a little easy. Those two games, you clearly had a lot. I drained you, dog. I drained you.
Yeah.
Well, it's not. I'm going to tell you this. No, normally I would have us immediately go into the next one, but I need to do it with the Friedel, dude, to really prove that I could do it. But first, let's go click off. Let's click off this thing. We'll go profile.
But you can check off a position.
I can check off one position. Yeah. Now, to talk about algorithms, I don't know if I shared this with you on Twitter, man, but dude, Carlsen held the rook versus the queen against Nepo, dude. Should have watched my video, Bows. I guarantee if you'd watched my video as a method, not some like deep memorization of stuff, but just a method, he would have cracked it. No problemo. Okay, what am I doing here, Bows? What am I doing? This one. Pop. Okay. So, update progress. Yeah. All right. So, I've done this. 1, 2. Good. Update. Bang. All right. So that was kind of cool, man. That we could see even Mr. Nepo, dude, doesn't know how to play the end game. Doesn't know how to play the end game, Bows. Now, one of the things, actually, Mr. Pruess, that is interesting, I think we now have profile pictures. Did you hear about that? So we might be able to, maybe we can even try to, if we can see if a boomer can figure out how to do the profile pictures. So far, I don't really see. Maybe edit profile? Upload photo, boss! Let's see what we got. Let's see. All right, we'll just do this as a placeholder. Do a delete photo. Let's do a better photo than that, buddy.
I don't know if I have any pictures on this computer yet.
Ooh, look at that one, man. Look, you see my photo, boss? Yeah, look at that, buddy. Welcome to the dojo, buddy. That's a pretty good one.
That is pretty good.
Nice, dude. Oh, well, that was cool, man. One thing that me and David have not been participating in, but I want to give it a shout out, is Jack, our computer genius guru person, with Kostya, developed this thing where if you want to try out the dojo for free, you can do it now for free. It's now possible to do this for free. And you don't get access to everything, but you can come in there and check it out. Now, I don't think the full announcement has been made. Maybe I actually did it today. But in any case, you can do it now for free, so it's kind of cool. And I think there's like 300 to 400 people that have already got in as the free memberships. So that's a cool thing. That took a lot of work just to set it up so like you can see a lot of what's going on with the training program, but you don't have full access to everything. The idea would be, just to let you have a sense of what it's like before you hit the buy button. I think that was a problem for a lot of people, that they were like, I don't know exactly what this is going to be like, yada, yada, that kind of stuff,
I don't think it was a big deal. Like the 1 month is the way of doing that. It's very cheap.
I agree, but I'm just saying that was their motivation, Jack and Kostya's. I was kind of with you, especially the amount of work required for them to set it up. But now it's set up. It seems kind of cool. Some people are definitely trying it out. There's generally like a reluctance there's a big reluctance to get in, especially into like repeating cost things. I'm there too, like I don't want to, like you get some, let's say your kid wants to watch a movie and then you get a subscription to some service and then boom, 20 months later you realize you were paying that whole time. You'd forgotten all about it.
$1 for a movie.
Yeah.
You could provide an
But
additional number in the
I think like anybody who knows us
to test it.
should A, know that there's some value, and B, know that we put out so much stuff for free. Why not send us like $15 once, and they can always renew or not afterwards as they choose.
Totally fair, but I think a lot of people don't know us, right? There's a lot of people who are just seeing us for the first time, and they're just checking it out. Let's click around the scoreboard a little bit. Pruess, tell me a story from France. People want to hear a story from France too.
Story from France. What's a new story from France? I joined a chess team.
Oh, nice. Okay, tell us that story. That's one I want to hear.
So there's a local chess club here, right? And I know in France they've got clubs all over the place. And I checked with a French dude. I was like, "Is it true that you guys have chess clubs everywhere?" He's like, "Oh yeah. There's chess clubs everywhere, of course." And then and I said, "Well, and is it true that the clubs sort of play team matches against other clubs, so you could try and like beat on the neighboring village or whatever?" 23rd time. He said, "Oh, we play like an 8-week, or is it even a 10-week? Maybe it's a 10-week season, 9-week season. I don't know. They play a season. They play a bunch of matches against other teams."
Yeah.
So
is it structured like the Bundesliga, where you have like smaller and smaller regions, and then the top league?
So it turns out that they've got like a national league, a regional league, and a super local league.
Yeah.
3 levels. But then even if you're in the national league, there's like top division, second division, etc. within the national thing, right?
Right.
Okay. So like I contacted the person who runs the chess club here in Granville, and I was like, "Dude, like my source in France tells me, you probably have like a chess team. How does that work? Can I help you beat down like the neighboring town? And also, what else does your club do? I'd like to, come hang out with all that." And he says, "We're in like the 4th division of the national league, so like you probably wouldn't really want to play on our team. And I've contacted this other nearest club that is of sort of a more masterly standard." And so it turned out that like the 4th division is kind of like 1600 to 1900. And
different about this.
yeah, there's not too much point in me beating down a 1900 from the neighboring village so that our village can be on top of their village, right?
Well, let me ask you though, can you advance? Like if you did well one year, do you advance to the next league?
Advance them up a level maybe, if I down a bunch of 1800s. But but I agreed with him. It wasn't like particularly interesting to do that. So ended up joining the team that he'd suggested. They're about an hour away.
Uh-huh.
This screening testing, I think looking at
But it's where my father-in-law was born, actually. So I have some kind of connection to that town, and it's also where I played my first French tournament.
Okay.
22 years ago, something.
Wow.
I went there as a youngster and played in this tournament, and I went to that town the other day, and I was like, wait a minute, the tournament venue is near here,
Uh-huh.
and I found it immediately.
Oh, wow.
What a good tournament that was. Anyway, so I joined their team. So 23 years later, I'm going to go back and win a match for them.
Nice, dude. And so I assume half the time they're playing at their village, and then they go to other places half the other time.
For some reason, they've got 8 out of 10 of their matches are home matches. I thought it would be 5 and 5. 8 home matches and 2 away matches. So
Okay.
don't have to travel too much. We'll have some people from Paris come all the way out here to get beat, and then we'll send them home. It's the second level of the division, the second division of the national level. So hopefully we can push the team back up to first division, and then I'll go home and see how they do.
Nice. Okay. That sounds great. So are we talking a team with like some title players on it, I guess?
Yeah, I think the teams have, some players in the 22 to 2400 range, but maybe not like all the way down to the bottom boards. So there's probably, players around 2000 on the bottom boards.
So what board, do you know what board you're going to be playing?
I think I'm second board for the team.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's great, dude.
My first match is in 2 weeks.
Nice.
Yeah.
Do you take the train there?
It would probably be bus.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it would probably be bus to get there, and I think it's probably FIDE rated.
It should be, yeah.
It's time control kind of deal.
Let me ask you this general French question, dude. It's funny, actually. When people talk about the United States, every time they turn on the news, they're talking about like political polarization. In my day-to-day life, honestly, I don't experience much polarization at all. In fact, but I want to ask: do you feel polarization there in France?
No, nobody's mentioned politics.
Yeah.
Unless really, really ask.
Right.
I pressed some guy. I pressed one dude, a chess dude, about the protest this summer with the raising of the retirement age, and he thought that it was pretty overwhelming that the French population was against it.
Right.
Said he guessed probably 75-80% of people would have been against it. So
Did the government have to end up walking that back? Is that what happened?
no, they just did whatever they wanted, even with the fact that the French are, pretty decent at protesting.
They protest so much, though, that it's hard to know when to take them seriously, So what was it that they wanted to raise it to like 60, from 60 to 65 or something like that?
I think it was a 2-year raise. So maybe from 62 to 64 or something like that.
Yeah, people in America are not retiring at 62, I'll tell you that. No. Keep working, man. Keep working. Yeah.
So, but he said like it was unlikely to be too, like, the pictures that I saw in the US were, the 1 or 2 pictures of a car on fire or whatever, right?
Yeah.
They're not representative of the average political dialogue.
Right.
He said, I asked someone about it, it wasn't like taboo or likely to be too inflammatory. So
Cool, man. Yeah.
Especially since as a foreigner, I'm not coming with a strong opinion, you know. I mean,
All right.
put all world leaders in jail, including their president. Other than that, you know, I'm not
That's a
gonna.
pretty straight. You got some pretty big opinions, Bows.
No,
That's some pretty big opinions, man.
I take a learning posture, right? I don't tell them what they should do with their work. Like, interesting. You guys invented something called the guillotine? Okay. Okay.
Well, let me ask you, is mildly connected to France. I don't know. We're going to do our dojo talks on Saturday. Is that still cool with you? We do it on Saturday.
Yeah, Dojo talks on Saturday.
And we could talk about a gazillion different things. It's interesting that the dojo, the chess drama, it's like it's turned into a nonstop news cycle. Have you noticed? It's like a nonstop news cycle of chess drama.
Right?
It's just feeding itself there on the Twitter, man. You turn on the Twitter, it's like every day some
Yeah.
people are howling over something. And even I howl sometimes a little bit too. It's like, what? With this latest US chess thing, it's like, oh my God, dude, unbelievable, man.
But we can't think about it like 3 weeks in a row,
No,
right?
no, but I'm just saying that just in terms of like how drama just keeps happening and happening, you know. Anyways, what I was gonna say is, I think we can talk about many different things, but the FIDE position on transgender players, it's pretty interesting, and I think it kind of, in a lot of ways, it starts in France with Yoshi there, right? Being like the key kind of person in the middle of the storm, both in terms of the social media posts and like playing for the French national team, right? So it's a worldwide thing, but I don't know. I feel like in France, it's special. That theme is that, yeah, that question is especially hot.
Yeah, I think that's a topic that's sort of beckoning for us as well. Although, yeah, I I have some fear it, veers into stuff where I don't have enough expertise to say something, but I almost always say something anyway.
It's just Kostya never says anything, man. He's just sitting there on his hands, buddy. And like, where you even yell at him, like, Kostya, say something, man. Say something. And he won't say anything. Just tell us what you think, Bows. Yeah.
He's what he thinks. Mostly.
He doesn't say that much, dude. He's
Not about St. Louis, but other than that, I think he generally says what he thinks. It's just not always. Sometimes he's still thinking about it. Sometimes he's like, yeah, I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
That's the thing also that Sage mentions. I recall now. That was my real hesitation. I was like talking with a couple people over here, and they're like, yeah, it would really make sense to bring on a trans person for that talk as a guest. And I was like, well, Jesse doesn't like having guests. I agree. And, have a guest on for that. And then I was like, but I don't necessarily, know somebody who would want to come on and do that.
Yeah, I think we talk about all kinds of things where, like, I think even more critically, we've talked about women chess issues multiple times. And obviously, you could say, well, why isn't there a woman on the show? But I think what's cool about the podcast is precisely that you have a similar conversation going, and that, I know, or I think I know mostly where you guys stand. I think a lot of our viewers like kind of know your stances as well, right? So it's this like ongoing conversation that has a similar structure. Anyways, that's what I like about it, the talks. Yeah.
We did once do an episode where we invited 3 different women on, and all I did was sort of moderate and sort of like pass the questions around between them.
Right.
And I tried to get like a diversity of rating and experience, so there was somebody who was very new to the game, somebody who was sort of middle level of experience, and somebody who was, a titled player and sort of would really know about things. But then we did do an episode more recently, and we got comments on YouTube, right? Like, why the hell are three guys sitting around talking about women's stuff?
Right. Well, I mean, we obviously expected that was going to happen. Oh, you know, the thing about it though too is it's not just let's say a trans perspective, but this thing that FIDE put forward, where we can debate the morality as long as we want, but also there's this really tense political and cultural question at stake, right? Where you have what I'm going to say is the vast majority of the chess playing world is far more conservative than I think a lot of people in the West understand, right? You have Russia, India, China, and and Africa, and all these countries are, I would say in the United States, it's kind of a 50-50 thing, but there it's just like, oh man, Eastern Europe too, man. It's not, anyway, so yeah, it's this broader, it's a broader question of chess culture. And that's one of the reasons that I think it's interesting that anybody could talk about it, especially anybody that's been around the game. One thing that's interesting to me about trans and homosexuality in chess is that when I was in high school, way back in the day, I mean, just to give you a sense of how much things have changed, like no one was out. So imagine I went to a pretty large high school, a dysfunctional place, and nobody was out. That was just par for the course. The only people who were out were like the rich people who were already older, rich guys. That was the only people who were out at that time. And then in my generation, the generation of the millennials, that was, I feel like the whole story of Prop 8 and all that happening had, to me, the biggest thing that happened was that people were meeting people in real life who were gay. And similarly with trans, I didn't really meet a trans person, I'm going to say, till the 2000s, so that was much later. And what's interesting in the chess world about this is where I was going with this, is I didn't meet people who were openly gay in the chess world until also, I think, the 2000s. And so I feel like the players who were gay were completely closeted forever. And only much later did I think people learned that like Robert Hubner was gay. That was just like, no one knew that, dude. No one knew that back in the day. Maybe somebody did, but people weren't talking about it. Also really interesting, there's a lot of evidence to point to that Paul Morphy was gay too. I didn't even appreciate that until recently either.
Wow, I've not heard that.
Definitely seems to have been a cross-dresser, dude. That's the other thing amazing about Morphe, man. Anyways, the reason I bring it up is like, if you're in one of those countries where trans isn't a thing yet, where you haven't met a trans person, I think it's very hard to come to grips with like transness in general, And also here in the United States, if you live in one of those states where you don't meet trans people, now that I've lived in a bunch of big cities, you meet trans people all the time now. But, if you live in some red state, you're not going to meet hardly any,
Right. I mean, the other thing is the FIDE ruling on trans depends heavily also on the question of whether or not, women have a disadvantage in chess compared to men and what that disadvantage consists of, right?
Yeah. No, that's the other, I mean, there's a lot of fascinating points, that we can talk about there.
It'd be very hard, right, to talk about the trans thing without getting into that question, which is its own full episode.
Exactly, right.
Where, like, I lack the sort of, neuro background. I haven't read peer-reviewed, like, Vishnu had, right? He did papers, saying like this is a good paper or this isn't, or view of like the literature or whatever, right? But like, on my own, I haven't ever digested.
I'm going to go ahead and say Vishnu hasn't either, dude, because Vishnu was somebody who was arguing a polemic, and there's papers on either side of that thing that you can point to.
But wasn't that his field as well? Like he is a.
No, he's doing something with psychology and stuff and brain science, but yeah. I think the arguments from both sides are like feel compelling to both sides, right? Like the progressive view is very compelling, and that view is simply to say the reason you don't have strong chess women is because when you go to a tournament, you don't see any women, and if you don't have any women playing, you're not going to get a lot of strong women players. Pretty good argument, and there's a lot of stats that you can use to back that up, right? I went to the chess club with the kids on Sunday, and there was just like one woman, and I think it was like a mom, you know? So it's like the gender problem is so real in the representation. Anyway, so that's their side, and then you got all of the people on the right who want to argue from like a genetics kind of brain yada yada thing, and you know they have their own papers. So it's like there's both ways of looking at it, you know. And I don't
think that I tried to read a bunch of papers.
I don't think you'd become smarter. No, I think you'd end up doing what Vishnu did, which is reaffirming your own prior.
Oh, okay. But what if I'm coming into it without having a really strong prior?
I think honestly, when you look at those, I mean, I haven't gone down the deep rabbit hole, you know, but there are some nuanced takes where you have to admit a little bit of both, right? Or you don't have to, but that would be there's people out there who have try to be more nuanced takes of being like, okay, look, obviously the representation is a thing. Obviously, there's some brain stuff going on too, right? Anybody who says that genetics isn't important has just lost their mind, honestly, in the current science of what genetics is, right? Yeah.
But okay, we know genetics exists, but like the question is, could 5 billion men statistically be better or worse at chess than 5 billion women if everything in their culture and society and life rules, etc., were the same, right? If women have to do more housework, or if men didn't harass women at tournaments, or if we had an equal number playing, so you didn't feel like, am I weird? Am I an outlier? Am I getting too much attention? Or blah 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 blah, right? Like if you evened out every aspect of the playing field, might you see an advantage for one gender or the other?
Yeah, dude. I mean, then that's the debate. I mean, like, you don't even have to talk. A lot of it gets hung up too on the question of like, are men smarter? That's where then people start losing their minds. But like, you can talk about aggression, for example. Are men more aggressive? Yeah. I don't think there's any debate on that. And does chess could you argue? I don't care if I don't need to argue this, but like, could you argue that aggression helps in chess? Of course you could, dude. Not a hard argument to make. Could you talk about men and risk taking? That's another thing you could talk about, right? It has nothing to do with how smart you are, but those two things right there are like, oh well. Dude, we obviously somebody could write a paper about that if they wanted to. You want to go down a rabbit hole, welcome to it. There it is.
Yeah, and risk taking could be good or bad in chess, right? I mean,
it depends. Yeah, you could write your paper on it, right? It's obviously a big, actually, if I have any strong opinion on it, it's this. This is my own one strong opinion, that you're dealing with two of the most complicated things imaginable. You're dealing with gender, incredibly complicated, dude. And you're dealing with brain science and genetics, also incredibly complicated. So if you come at me, like so many people on Twitter, they're not coming at me, but they're coming at the world with their tweets, and you have an opinion that you want to claim is 100% correct, then I'm just like, boss, clearly, like Vishnu, like if you want to claim 100% correct, I'm like, boss, obviously, there's no way you could possibly claim that you are absolute certain on this issue, where you have two of the most complex things possible colliding in one space, where then not only do you have the two complex scientific questions, but you have your own emotions, which are going to be flurrying around on both of those questions, right? With the genetic question and the woman question. Oh my God, dude.
Super emotionally detached about it.
Yeah, I don't think it's possible to be entirely emotionally detached.
Have full confidence.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think I'm very emotionally attached to the answer to that question myself, Jesse.
I'm sure you have priors about natural intelligence. I'm sure you have priors about gender. Everybody does.
If somebody who really knew came down to me and said, it turns out that women are better than men at chess, or men are better than women at chess, or they're equal, I think I would, like, my main emotional response would be like, I'm glad I know that now. But I don't,
How would you ever trust somebody if they told you that, though?
you know what I'm saying? If somehow somebody could know it, which they could.
Okay.
If somebody came and told me that, I'm just telling you this as like an impossible hypothetical to tell you my emotional state.
All right.
We're told, by God or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Some incredibly knowledgeable, insightful being came to me and said, like, this is how it is. I don't think I would be disappointed or enthused either way, like, at all. The coolest thing would be that I would know the answer. That's what I would be excited about, but I wouldn't really care which way the answer went. What does it matter to me whether men or women are better at chess than each other? I hardly care if I'm better or worse at chess than you, much less, a bunch of people I don't know across some random average over billions of people. What do I care?
All right, fair. Yeah. Yeah, there. I don't have a huge investment.
I think I answer Vlad Form's question though.
Okay.
I think they'll say something, Vlad. I mean, it's not like an answer or whatever. If I can give you some ability to understand better something that you don't understand. I think the idea is like this. If a woman wants to go and play chess, or a girl, and they go into a chess playing venue and find no girls or women there, that on its own can be disencouraging to them. So if you could get more women and girls playing, that would be very important for other women and girls to want to join later. So if you just continue to encourage everybody in general to play chess, and women are continually discouraged, you might simply increase the number of men more and more and make it more and more discouraging for women. So, it might become, the percentage could get even worse rather than better, and that on its own could continue to provide a discouragement. Not for everybody, but for lots of people, it feels weird to be a very tiny minority, or a very, to feel other than the group that they're in.
Well, and I want to answer too, in that I think there's a real self-interest for us to encourage women to play, in that I think one of the key reasons actually the chess boom happened is before the internet, chess was this kind of musty place where a bunch of scraggly dudes were hanging out in an ill-kempt basement playing chess with one another, and it got stigmatized because of that. And it was hard to grow the game from that dusty basement. When you got then the internet, and then streamers, and a lot of them are like pretty women streaming, and you get an explosion of the game to other cultures, India, China, you have this sense of like, oh, this is a super cool thing to do, but almost no activity is super cool if it's just a bunch of dudes. You need to leaven that sauce with at least some women in there, buddy, And I feel like it's really important to the struggle of growing the game is to getting at least the percentages up for the women playing.
Here's another example, which, Vlad, if you have any hangups around gender, this other example might help you. Think of like chess in India. Like somebody might have thought, like, in 1980, we should popularize chess in India. We should encourage people in India to play chess. And then someone else might say, well, why not just encourage everybody? But look what happened when, Anand became a great chess player. You see how that like created a boom for Indian chess, right? And that's partly got to be because Indian people saw somebody that they identified with in some way, and it encouraged them to participate, right? So the same thing could be true. You could be like, let's get chess more popular in China. Let's have Ding Liren be world champion in a country where chess is barely played, right? And that was one of the reasons when we did our dojo talk about the world championship that I think Jesse or Kostya or maybe both of them were saying like maybe it'd be slightly cool if Ding won because of some chance of popularizing chess in China, where if Nepo wins, it's already very popular in Russia. They've had many world champions. It won't really have any effect, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Sure.
that can be a thing. So you can think any group of people, if you get some people there playing, it could help further popularize it within that group.
Buddy, I got to go get my other evil child from school. But this was great, man. Yeah, this was great.
All right.
And I guess I'm going to see you then Saturday.
Yep.
At the latest. Maybe we'll hang out before then, too.
Yep. And to everybody else, I'm planning to stream tomorrow morning in sort of French / European African time zones. So
I thought you were going to say you were going to stream in French, dude. That's what I thought you were saying. No.
the channel, like, just so people know what to, expect anytime they come to Chess Dojo.
Yeah.
I also want to stream about some other things, Jesse.
Okay.
That are not. So I'll stream those on my channel at some point.
Oh, tell me those. What do you think about not other things?
In French, I'll also go maybe do it on my channel at some point.
Uh-huh.
Let's find enough hours to stream some real chess in English on Chess Dojo, right?
Uh-huh.
That's the crux of matters.
What are you going to talk about in your personal streams?
I'll tell you offline.
Oh, dang, that's going to be hot, my friends. Well, cliffhanger. I'm not going to tell you later. I might squeal on him, but I don't know. In the meantime, I'm going to raid Renga, and here we're going to start this raid. And this is where I give my little spiel. If you haven't joined the Chess Dojo Training Program, this is the moment. If you just want to help keep the lights on, or you want Kostya to have some more avocado toast, then send us some money on the Patreon, boss. The inflation, if you've seen how skinny he gets, and if he doesn't get those avocados, it's hard to. He used to be in California. They were cheap there. Now they got to bring him over by rail or trail, or I don't know how they bring him to St. Louis, but he's running out. So give us some money. All right, bye, everybody. Say hi to Renga.